All right. YouTube. Tactical Tone 702 hosting something on the Dragon. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some Tony in it. So, what I got here for you is some fucking in-your-face shit, some raw shit, folks. Some shit that you just ain't ready for. Whoa. Who's that guy talking? 702. Okay. What's up, J-Watt? What's up, Mr. Tommy Boy? What's up, Dragons? Hit that like button, hit that share button, get this thing out there, because I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna lose it tonight. You guys are gonna see me just lose it. My channel's gonna be done after this chat right here. People are just gonna be like, Tony, you're fucking fired from my list of 3%ers and Patriot friends. I defriend you and unsubscribe from your propaganda channel. So much shit to cover. I don't know if I can cover it all. So I'm gonna look on my phone and I'm just gonna dive head first. Damn, people like my comments. I don't like your comment. Likes my comment, 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 likes my comment. Oh yeah. So let's just get a little. Let's just throw a little. Let's throw a little humdinger out there to start this one off, and then I'll just jump into it because I'm gonna have to go through my phone here to get in to remember all this shit. Cause just so much, just bullshit. But my main everything is gonna be centered around the fact that I posted. It's almost here. Can you feel it? You know, I'm not talking about Christmas. So, yeah, that's the start the show off that way. First of all, worked all day, ain't even grubbed yet, and I've already moved on to level Jameson because, sincerely, honestly as fuck, I gotta say what the fuck I gotta say, and it is what it is. People just gotta deal with it and love me or hate me. I don't give a shit either way. But so I guess we could start with the Bundy thing. The Bundy thing, that's what I was originally gonna do. I was originally gonna do like basically call this shit forward. All right, I'm just gonna read. Let's just read the post first of all. Okay, read the post on air. And then I'm going to just talk about pieces of shit. All right. You got to realize what my whole point of everything is from now on to move forward and go on. I like to do that. I like to take time in my chats to say, look, this subject is dead. I'm done talking about it. You know what I mean? You notice I don't got nothing to say about the police no more. I never even wanted to go on the Hillary Clinton thing. I had a couple videos lined up for that, and I just can't do it. I don't want to do it. I said I wouldn't do it. I don't want to do it. So, and the cop thing, that movement has been hijacked. So that point is mute. It doesn't matter no more. And last weekend or whatever, it was a 2A march we did, where basically we're asked to come out and support the Second Amendment, which I was like, I work all weekend. I work Saturday, and to come out on Sunday, which is like just another fucking work day, basically, because I got to fucking drive, right? And go support a bunch of fucking people. I wouldn't even say it's not even all the people. It's these people running these fucking groups or whoever the fuck they think they are. They run these groups and they're so used to being trampled on by tyrants that they try to act like tyrants in their own groups. You know what I'm saying? So basically, they were pissed because we brought long guns, and I told them that's how we were going to roll. And then I told them that actually, if I told them that's how I was going to roll up to the rally. Watch the video if you want. It's whatever. The video's whatever. I don't know. To me, it's all fucking a lost cause. But You know, you ever go out half-hearted on something just because you know what I mean? I'm so cynical. I'm so fucking hate motherfuckers and don't give a fuck that I could honestly really care less anymore. I honestly have started thinking that this is past all the crazy shit, you know. It's past being it's past all these soft ass pussy routes that people are attempting to fucking go about. All right, well, I got some cooking going on in the background. It's probably gonna be super fucking loud, but I'm just gonna continue through and try not to lose train of thought. My point is, people are half-assing soft ass shit. It's like Americans are either like they're either all the way in on Team Saving America, 1776, 3% are real Americans. They're really on that shit, or they're like fucking still in the litigation phase where they're like still trying to protest and plead with the king and plead with the tyrants. And on top of it, now you actually have to plead against the populace of America. I almost knocked my drink over. You have to plead with the populace of America. You have to argue and air grievances that you air these grievances, you spit these facts, you tell these people how it is and what's really going on, and they turn around and they're so used to getting butt fucked by tyrants and getting used and abused that they try to use and abuse you. They pay it forward. They pay the hate forward. You don't agree on something that they do, so you're a whatever. They got so many names that how stupid does it sound for me to be on here saying the same dumbass shit, naming all the labels that they are, naming all the things that they say. We all know what these idiots say. We all know what these traitors say. So you got the side that's all the way in. They get it. They understand whatever. You know what I mean? They put their they put their country before themselves. And then you got all the people that are supposed patriots, supposed 2A people, supposed this, supposed that, supposed 3%ers. Dude, it's to the point to where somebody has that on them, that 3%. I was to the point where I was gonna abandon it. Now somebody's getting smacked in their fucking mouth like a bitch. That's what they're getting. Some fat fucking 400-pound motherfucker wants to tell me something about something that he's a 3%er too. And asking me to tame myself. Fuck you. You ain't no 3%er. You're a fucking not even a polished turd. You're fucking big time shitbag. And I fucking hand you a whole stack of my cards because you're an asshole. Fuck you. And I don't care. I don't give a fuck, okay? I don't care. Point blank, period. Cheers, motherfuckers. Merry Christmas. I'm not going to sit here and act like these people ain't what they ain't, because what they are is team sympathizer or team traitor or team just – there's like 4 teams now. Sympathizer – well, no, there's 3 teams. I'm tripping. Traitors and sympathizers are all the same thing. You can't – you know, just because you're ignorant or you claim ignorance doesn't make you like less guilty. No, you're still on team traitor. So you got team traitor, you got a team that's all the way in, real 3%, about ready to fucking handle the fucking business as they try to fucking lay this bullshit down, this cesspool they've turned this country into. You're against it, you're for it, or you're still in litigation. And you're fucking sorry. You fucking suck. You claim to know so much about the founding fathers. You just claim to know so much about every fucking thing. You even fucking talk like you're some type of scholar. And yet you're just sorry. You're just sorry. You're just a pussy. You're not even on fucking team 3%, all right? You're on team sympathizer, team traitor. All that litigation, do you get it? All that fucking pleading, all the grievances, all the voting, all that shit is horse shit. Do you get that yet? Do you understand that yet? Hit the like button, folks, and yeah, that's why I gotta be careful with what I say, Mr. Tommy Boy. Title 10, USC. What's up, bro? Saints and Sappers. I'll shoot you a link, brother. If you want a link, let me know, man. So, trying to make sure before I go on and get to the best part of my rants, that I gotta get this room fully sized, because you know I know people go back and watch it in the long run, but send some links out real quick. All I'm saying is you're either you know, you're either for this country or against this country, or you're just a sorry pussy, a sorry excuse for something, whether which way ever you claim, whether you go left or you go right. You're just a fucking fence rider. I know I said there's no more fence riders, but there is. You got all these people that are stuck in litigation, and because you don't agree with them, you're some type of extremist. You're some type of thug or goon. I'm sitting here arguing with people. The Bundys have put this information out. You guys get from it what you want. You know what I mean? I'm really tired of having to fucking. I'm really tired of fucking having to like basically almost throw away my 33-year-old life, the young motherfucker, by fucking doing the shit that I do, saying the shit I say, and being the only motherfucker out there. I said that I would do it. I'll be out on the 50-yard line all by myself. But it's like, fuck, dude. Why? I don't understand. Why is there not more people talking like me? There's no reason to talk correct anymore, meaning, you know, oh, you got to talk proper, no cuss words. You can't call somebody a dumbass or a piece of shit when that's what they really are. You know? What the fuck? It's beyond. It's beyond your fucking bullshit, all right? It's beyond your cowardice and your treason. It's beyond that. It's all beyond that. And I got to argue with people who are supposedly fucking, you know, they claim to be up in this county where the BLM is fucking some patriots, some Americans out of life and liberty. You know what I'm saying? And here you got people that supposedly live in that county just calling the Bundys and myself and a whole bunch of people, well, just me and the Bundys and the people who are out there goons. These guys are calling themselves patriots. They're calling themselves residents of that county. They're saying that they represent the whole county. Claiming to be patriots and calling, I mean, I'm gonna read the post and then I'm gonna read this counter post. And why am I the only one that's destroying this motherfucker and trying to explain to this fool? This fool's trying to say that, I mean, these people that supposedly live in this county are calling Cliven and them still what the fuck ever. They're calling them, saying that they didn't pay taxes and they're unpatriotic. Like mouth for mouth, word for word, what Harry Reid is saying. They claim to be in this county and they're basically threatening the Bundys and anybody who comes up with them to help them. So this is going to take a while, all right? So just fucking bear with me. I'm guessing this is from, yeah, I got it. It's Amon, I believe that's how he says his name, or Eamon Bundy. Whatever. I've been out there with them guys. All right, so this is from Amon Bundy, or Eamon Bundy, however people choose to pronounce it. I met him, and I met all of his family, and if anybody, even in the comments right now, has anything to fucking say about these people out there, you could go fuck yourself. Not because I'm some type of salty ass bastard that don't give a I mean, yeah, maybe I am. Whatever. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Make up your fucking excuses. My point is, you got to be a real low life, a real piece of shit to try to fucking claim that the Bundys are anything but great people. You got to be the fucking lowest of lowest, the highest of lowest pieces of shit. That's how messed up your shit is. And that's what these people who are claiming, there's like 3 or 4 just firing all at the Bundys, and of course I'm gonna jump in because I'm on, my shit's on there, and I'm gonna fucking destroy fools because and because it pisses me off that's how disgusting this country has become. It's fucking disgusting. They raise up pedophiles. They raise up fucking disgusting transgender fucking nonsense and fucking the destruction of man and woman and marriage and Christianity as a whole. And just even if you ain't religious, just regular human morals that you should fucking follow. And obviously biological fucking ways, like you can't fucking plug two penises and make a baby, all right? Can't plug 2 vaginas and make a baby. You got to still get that one from one. And that's where we're at. We're at such a disgusting, filthy ass time where people who have morals, people who are Christian, people who are regular, we are the problem. Do you understand that? I keep preaching that like a motherfucker to the point where I'm ready to quit YouTube. I'm telling you right now, I am ready to fucking quit. I'm not going to knock down my channel. I'm not going to take down nothing. Everything's going to be left up as is. But to the point to where I'm fucking tired of being the only mad motherfucker. Bullshit, all right? We're in a point now where some of the greatest people, and even the greatest people, what I met in the Bundy Ranch and everything like that can be turned up on its head, and these people could be called mouthing word for word and everything what Harry Reid and his punk ass traitor ass crew said, and claiming to be from that county where militias and 3%er groups and everything from all over the country are talking about coming in, descending on this one spot. I don't even know what to fucking think anymore. There's so many infiltrators and so many just cowards and just pieces of shit anyways that I don't know what are you supposed to think? What are you supposed to do, right? So here's the letter. I could just keep talking like a moron all night. Letter to Sheriff Ward. Dear Sheriff Ward, I have received information through multiple sources from within that you, in conjunction, I'm gonna turn this because I can't turn it. It's like grease is fucking loud as fuck. Can you put a lid on that? All right, I have received information through multiple sources from within that you, in conjunction with the federal agencies, have enlisted the state and 5 surrounding counties to come to your protection. The officers and military equipment have been transported to Harney County to aid in your personal security. That these officers have been heavily armed and that the personnel involved have been put on high alert and briefed to use force upon the people as they see fit. It is to our understanding that this called out to your brothers in blue is being justified because of a personal threat directed to you by way of an email. That you do not know who made the threat and have no lead other than the email source. This fucking shit is super long. You got to go on Facebook. I could share it. I think it's shared on my Tactical Tony page. You got to just go to it and read the whole thing. It's so much that I don't got time to read all of it. But basically, he's basically was saying that the county sheriff or whatever has enlisted a whole bunch of people because he got an email, some type of threat from militias or whatever, and that he is calling in all these resources basically. And if you're not up to date on the Hammonds thing, I don't know that I really feel like going back step by step by step. It's another treasonous act by a illegitimate bureaucracy created by the Department of Interior and fucking all the little goonies all over the place. Whether people say these people are good people that work in these agencies, I don't see how. All right, I don't see anybody from the BLM besides the people that are probably fucking recording all my shit, messaging me saying, "Hey Tony, I work for the BLM, and we think you're exactly right. This is bullshit. They're making us go out and take this land and this, that, and the other." They're taking land. They've seized like over 75% of Western lands, not Midwest and not fucking the East Coast. The Midwest and the East Coast the BLM has not seized so much land like they have from the West. They own whole states damn near. They own all the land. They say that the lands are managed by the BLM, which nobody ever put them in fucking charge, like legally or constitutionally. Nobody put them in charge to manage our lands in the first place, right? Somebody check me if I'm wrong, but I'm just saying. Nobody could put them in power to manage our lands in the right way anyways, besides us just being fucking lazy Americans, from what I can gather. All right? And through that, they fucking managed to go from supposedly managing all this space that everything is a fucking safe space now. It's just land that's off limits to the fucking public. To us people that are Americans that don't even own our own sovereignty, let alone own any land or any minerals under the land or any water under the land or anything like that. Anything like that is owned by the federal government so that they can own and harness every little last inch of everything for themselves. It's bad enough. It's not bad enough that they steal from us and they take everything from us that we strive, we work, we do all this just to be taken away and given to other fucks that don't do nothing, but that we don't even own the lands that we stand on. We can't even recreate in the areas that are technically, officially by the Constitution that are ours. This is our land and it's been stolen. And anybody that wants to argue with me about that, even if they live in the county, these idiots supposedly say they live in the county. Fucking Herbert Paul Gray here on Facebook. That's his name. The three name shill, Herbert Paul Gray, talks about, wow, I live in Harney County and you just went full retard. Talking to the Bundys. I mean, he totally introduces himself as a fucking retard in the first place. He's got to do like, oh, you just went full retard. That's the worst. I can't stand when people use that shit. So this guy just basically is a piece of shit, claims to live in the county, and you know, I basically am arguing on this fucking Bundy thing with a bunch of fucking nobodies, even if by which way that they did live in this county, there's total shill sheep, and they all have the balls to call me a goon, a thug, a sheep. He keeps calling me a sheep. Anthony the sheep, Anthony the sheep, calling the Bundys all liars, calling them all this, calling them all that, and he talks about, you know, that it's BLM land. He keeps referring to it as BLM land, and it's the BLM's land, and then you got to pay your taxes to the BLM and this, that, and the other. And it's like, he's a total fucking statist. And the point is these are fucking people, and this is just like in real life. I know it'd be one thing if it was all seen on the internet and I saw it on the internet all the time, and you'd be like, Tony, chill the fuck out, it's just trolls. No, I know people in real life, dumb fucking liberals, gangs of them, fucking gaggles of them, gangs of them, lots of them. Like, I associate I become friends with people who are like-minded, right? So there's a good amount of people that are like-minded, I guess, and everything. I become friends, but I'm not saying that I don't meet the same exact numbers that are on the opposite. I don't see the same. I see so many people with Bernie Sanders stickers on. I saw somebody with a Bernie Sanders sticker next to the Gadsden flag on their car the other day, and I filmed it. So hopefully that video comes out good. These people are so fucking dumb and so ignorant, or so just treasonous, you know, intentionally treasonous instead of ignorant, you know, being treasonous just by way of being ignorant, which still to me is no excuse, that they're willing to go out of their fucking way and literally call everybody that has associated with the Bundys and the Bundys to be goons and thugs, and to stay out of my state, stay out of Oregon, do not come here, you better not come here, we will fight. You got people in here saying they will join the police in fighting the militias. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Just like arguing with Moms Demand Action people, where they say, you guys brought guns and you aimed them at women and children, and Bundy aimed them at women and children, and all these people saying this same fucking vomit, this same just filth, this same no fact, just disgusting, need to get punched in your face until you stop talking like that. Not free speech, need to be fucking smashed all your teeth in your face until you stop talking like that. People, it don't make no sense. Basically, I'm trying to explain that there's a lot of fucking traitors, and they're not even shy about it. And that's the battle. You know? That is the fucking battle. I mean, what do you do? What do you do when, I mean, patriots are far few in between, you know? Even these idiots that are supposedly 3%ers. I got people all the time telling me they're 3%ers. And I mean, obviously there's a couple things you could tell right off the bat. If they're a douchebag, they're probably not a 3%er, is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because they're ignorant of history. They're all over the place. And they're more or less following and claiming to be part of a group that's bigger than them that they can't understand. Saints, I shot you a link. I'm looking at comments. I'm trying to go back here, do some some shout outs while the grease is loud as fuck. J Watt, it's all a hoax. El Chavez, what up? Northwest Indiana Prepper, Joe. The Saints and Sappers. Saints, I shot you a link. Atomic Bulls, what's up, bro? Justin Woolley, let me know if you want a link, Woolley. Partisan Gorilla, G Mangos. I shot all you guys links. Hey, Justin, you need to be more all on this Hammond thing. Like, I know you got some shit going on, but you should be more in on this Hammond thing, because your channel reaches a lot more people, and you ain't been like fucking, your service hasn't been dialed back like mine. My shit has been, who even knows of me anymore? I get like 100 views if I'm lucky. They restrained my shit. They had to. My Google's all fucked up. So yeah, Justin, check that Hammond situation out. Spread the word. Ammon Bundy basically just put another ultimatum out on the, out on the table today, like old school Bundy Ranch style, Wild West, because that's what they're calling us. They're saying, don't bring your Wild West shit up to Oregon. Like, they're talking like we're so fucking far away. Like, don't bring your Wild West shit up. That's that soft ass Oregon bullshit, or that or troll shit. I don't know which one. But yeah, Justin, put that out there, man. If you don't got that story, I'll get it. I'll get it to you, man. Let me know, because you got to get that. In fact, if you do a video on that, I'd be very grateful for that. El Tenda Fabrizio, what's up, brother? Mr. Tommy Boy, QC Ham 420, I shot you a link too, bro. Fuzz Fork, what's up? Well, yeah, I'm going to run out of shit to say in a second, Saints. As soon as I take this next shot of Jameson right here. So, bottoms up. All you motherfuckers, only God knows right now, all you motherfuckers, all right? What up, Mule? Only God knows if you're fucking telling me the truth right now, if you say you would have my back on that 50-yard line when that shit goes down, because I'm telling you right now, there's way more pussies than I ever thought. I was very optimistic, but I have, since being in this whole thing that I've been doing for like 3 years now, going on 4 or whatever it's been, I have become pessimistic as fuck and cynical as fuck, all right? All because of this right here. All because of this. Because I don't really see that many people putting everything they got on the line for this country beyond just, you know, claiming to be 2A or claiming to be this or claiming to be. How come, motherfucker, you weren't here or you weren't there or you don't, you know what I mean? I hate being that motherfucker. Like, I ruined my life. Like, let's be honest. If this shit goes in a total tyrannical mode and I don't get no, and we don't get no nothing, I'm trying to tell you folks, I ruined my fucking life for this. All right? All because of everything I did. Everything. Trust me. Trust me on my life, I'm telling you. On everything. I ruined my fucking life. You know? Honestly. And it's fine if it's not for nothing. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with being put on the list and then fucking getting pictured here and pictured there. And this, and I say this. You should, if you motherfuckers knew what I said, you wouldn't even be in this chat right now. You would be fucking scared to be associated with this chat if you know how I talk. How I talk in my real life. How on social media I destroy motherfuckers with just brutality because I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Yeah, I ruined my shit. I fucked my shit up, but I don't care because I still have a little bit of that much in me that it wasn't all for nothing. It's not much, but it's still something. So, welcome to the dragons that just jumped in.
You ain't by yourself, bro. There's busloads and busloads standing up. Let them have it.
When I gotta fucking argue with so-called fucking patriots, they call themselves patriots. They call themselves 2A's this. They call themselves 2A's that. They call themselves constitutional this, constitutional that. They call themselves libertarians this, libertarians that. And I gotta argue with these motherfuckers because they're too fucking stupid. They fucking repeat shit verbatim what fucking came out of Harry Reid's mouth or some other piece of shit traitor, and it's the gospel because some fucking traitor said so. You know, what does local matter anymore anyways when you got, I said it the other night, when you got the pen and the phone? What the fuck does any of this local shit even matter anyways? Why the fuck is somebody's vagina hurting because I show up with a rifle? You know? Like, oh, that's so extreme. You're an extremist. You should have only brought your handgun. Fucking transgender fucking fucks. I can't wait.
Yeah, that was pretty weak. That's really pretty weak. Oh.
They said the same fucking shit that the Moms Demand Action said on their page. That's what the fuck they did. In fact, their leaders of that group or whatever fucked with me more than any of the anti-gunners did. And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. That's the exact shit I'm talking about. Talking about fucking arguing with fools who want to call Bundy's this and Bundy's that, and that it's BLM land, and we owe this and we owe that, and they didn't pay their taxes. We pay our taxes, but Bundy doesn't have to pay his tax. It's the fucking horse shit. Is so vile and so unchecked. It's that's the problem. The check, the motherfucking check. What up, Mule? Mule's got his shit going.
Yeah,
Well,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So what's up, Tone?
Fucking
I was trying to
shit.
say, just like Saints was saying, you ain't alone, brother. You know, you know me and you've been at this game for a while now, shouting at the fucking rooftops, and we've said everything under the sun.
It feels better as I go along and push all the pussies out of my way. It's like the crowd is getting so thin, and it feels better. It was crowded. I didn't like it. I don't like that many people. Anyway,
I hear you.
I'm just pushing myself forward in a crowd that's getting thinner and thinner and thinner.
Well, Tony, just do a little math. I know it might hurt the head, but when you start figuring out 3% of a population of 350 million people, it ain't a whole lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, it's enough, though, I feel like.
Yeah, it's enough. And, you know, our time, you know, it's kind of like looking at things in God's perspective, right? God has his timing and we have our timing, and usually the two don't match up, right? And it's kind of the same way about revolution here in the United States. My timing was, you know, 2008, right? Before this idiot even got into fucking office, or before. You know, most people's timing isn't even there yet, right? So, I don't know. What do you think, Saints?
well, it's kind of like people, if they won't stay with you when the times are really good and there's pie on every table and coffee in every cup, do you think they're going to stay with you when the times get hard? Hell no. If you have to drag them over the hill now to get them to go with you, can you imagine how hard it's going to be to drag them when it gets really intense?
Yeah, exactly. If they're not willing to stand up for their liberty and their freedom now, what makes you think they're going to do it when the times are tough, when the times get rough, right? Because they just reintroduced a English and Australian style gun buyback program in the fucking House of Representatives.
And they're
So,
buying it.
these motherfuckers this morning just did another fucking sellout. The last maybe even little piece of soul that was left, they sold it down the fucking river. My bad, Saints. They sold that shit down the river. And for us to even talk about, it doesn't even matter who becomes president. Next election doesn't matter. The next local elections doesn't matter. The next phone call you make doesn't matter. The next letter you write or email you write doesn't matter. Legislatively, we're done. Point blank, period. We are done. We've been sold out in every facet, every top to fucking bottom. There's nothing left of us but to fight. I mean, that's all there is left. There isn't nothing else.
Well, until those first shots are fired, I keep buying ammo. You know.
Amen. Amen.
Exactly.
Picked up
Exactly.
5 more boxes of 40 rounds per each tonight. So another 200 rounds.
And that's I totally agree, Mule. Well, off air I got a different answer. But in the meantime, I'm so fucking tired of these fakes, phonies, these so-called 3%ers, these so-called patriots, this, that, and the other, fucking talking about, oh, we need to do this and we need to do that, and Ted Cruz is Jesus, and blah, 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 but like, shut the fuck up. Stop lying to yourself, stop lying to your kids, stop lying to us, or stop trying to convince us. Stop it. Stop. The next guy is not going to fix it. The next guy, I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, maybe a 0.5% of a chance, maybe, if so, and he's not nowhere near anywhere of even being realistic anyways. Rand Paul, if he even had a breath of a fucking chance, which I don't think he does, would be the closest that we could get to having anybody who respected the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? Ted Cruz supposedly does, but I'm on it with Mule, man. That motherfucker, it was fine when Obama was from Canada. I mean, from Kenya, but it's not okay. I mean, it's okay that Ted Cruz from Canada, Obama, no okay from Kenya. No.
Yeah, sorry. If you ain't from fucking Georgia, New York, California, Nevada, if I need to go through all 50 states, I will. But that's pretty much the only criteria I care about. Well, I care about more criteria than that. But if you can't make that simple one of being born here in this country, fuck you and have a nice day.
My advice to people is you better be planning like it ain't going to get no better, because it probably ain't going to get no better. So you better plan accordingly.
Right? And guess what? If it does get better, all you have is stuff that you can go have fun with. You can, if shit does, if all of a sudden, next year it turns into, peaches and cream everywhere, and the world turns into sunshine and fucking palm trees, then guess what? You get to go out to the range because nobody will fuck with you and shoot up all that ammo you've been storing. You'll get to go camping. And guess what? Eat up all that food you've been storing.
Even if it comes to peace on earth with the fucking with politicians and shit, you still got to worry about people breaking in your house and all, and just the Goonies of this everyday life trying to take shit, So.
Oh no, dude, no, come on, the liberals will have won, and everybody will be all peaceful, right? The gays will hug the muzzies, and they'll sing Kumbaya around the fucking campfire.
Hey, all we have is up from here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no! Don't even think that, Tone. Don't even think that shit.
Are you saying it could get worse, Mule?
Brother, I'm saying we ain't even see. You don't even know where bottom is.
Nah.
Right?
Oh, dude, do that to us, Liddy.
I'm talking about life in general, man. You know what? We're so fucking pampered in this country. We have no clue as to where the whole fucking world can go in a minute, right? And here in America, we've never had the kind of devastation that we've put on other countries. So imagine it happening here. Oh, people don't know where the bottom is. We're still on the top, right? So we're still on third base thinking we struck out. Americans in general, right? We bitch and moan about, oh my God, I make too much little money. I barely have enough to eat. Well, what do you mean by barely have enough to eat? Is your fucking belly swollen because you haven't eaten in a month? No. Barely has enough to eat means your EBT card gets more money than anybody who works.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anybody having the rickets from being starved in several years in the U.S.
Yeah, no shit, right? No scurvy, right? The only reason why you see poor people being, having swollen bellies is because they're fucking fat and overweight from eating too much fucking candy and fucking bonbons. It's not because they're starving and their belly's swollen because their insides are eating themselves. Like you see in Ethiopia or in fucking Somalia or over any third world country. Right? No. What do we have? We have fat motherfuckers with weaves screaming at us because they didn't get enough money on their EBT.
And just think they're going to buy back all these guns with your money that they took out of your pocket. And if they run out of your money, they'll just start the presses up and print some more.
Well, the funny thing is they say that, from what I was just reading, they're going to offer, right, fair market value plus 25%, right? So if they actually open that market, right, if they actually did this buyback program and ran it totally above board that way, right, the market for guns would go way up, right? Because if you're supposedly selling them to get them out of the circulation, well, then every $100 fucking high point then is worth $300 because you're trying to get rid of all the high points in production. We already did this stupid shit. Nobody remembers the reasonably priced car buyback, do they? Cash for clunkers?
Yeah, unfortunately I do.
Yeah, unfortunately I do too, because that took out a lot of the lower middle class vehicles, right? And it took out a whole class. People don't understand what that wiped out, right? That wiped out your small average shop, because when everybody sold those for the newer vehicles, Well, they're not going to get their shop time. They're not going to get their labor time. They're not going to do repairs on these vehicles. They're not going to keep them running. Why? Because they all ended up in a junkyard, smashed up, and sent over to fucking China as free steel for them to sell back to us as other shit. But we got rid of all these cars that, my son's 18, right? When I was 18, I bought a $300 car and kept that motherfucker rolling by fixing it every week. Every paycheck I had to fix something. Right? You go looking for a car like that for your kid today, they're not out there. Not in the numbers they would have been if they hadn't done that cash for clunkers bullshit. And that's the same shit.
I'm telling you right now, man. I feel like, honestly, especially in my real life, I feel like I'm literally on my own page. I don't know anybody I don't know anybody in real life that is where I am. Nobody.
I know 3 people who don't want to ever be on video. I have a couple of friends who I train with who are like me, like-minded, right? And we're on the same page. But they don't ever want to be on video. They don't ever want to sit and talk. One night, one of them sat next to me as I'm doing one of these chats, and he's like, "You're fucking crazy afterwards."
Well, no. My thing is, Neil, this is my thing. Where I am, where my realization is, everybody, dude, it's a fucking hot and trendy to be a gun person right now. It's so gay. You know
that's so different than what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but these are the people that claim to be patriots. These are the people that claim to be about the same cause as that you're about. And as soon as you start breaking it down to them, monkey style, you know what I mean? So that the fucking average motherfucker can soak it up and, oh shit, either I didn't realize we were there and I don't want no part of it, or no, look, I got this video clip that says that that's not true. I got this fucking headline that says that's not true. I got this shit that says Bundy didn't pay his taxes, and actually he's unpatriotic.
Right, but see, I don't even talk to those fucking people. When they come up and that's like some idiot in the store trying to talk to me about what a cool beard I have. Get the fuck away from me. I don't know you, you piece of shit. Right? And if somebody's going to come up to me at a range, or because they see me wearing, one of Rebel's shirts and want to talk to me, I got nothing to say to them anymore. Right? I have my little clique, and I trust these fuckers with my life. Literally.
And see, that's what's good about like the circle that you rolled in and shit. Circle I rolled in, everybody who's bad is still really, really bad and is either dead or in jail. You know what
well, see, this is where age helped, right? So a lot of my generation is now, we're grown up for the most part, There's still some of those fucking man children out there my age that are fucking thinking they're still 20, but most of us don't. We have kids that are 20.
Like, I'm glad to be like one of the people out of these groups that I grew up with and shit like that that's like not in jail and not dead or all fucking tweaked out on a corner. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know motherfuckers, dude, just straight dirt, dude, just nothing ever did. You know what I mean? You would think that they were the devil, but you fucking rode with them because that's who your people were at the time. But these people don't think like what we think. They think just still like criminals, and criminals don't give a fuck which way the fucking law goes, left or right. You know what I mean? They're gonna do what the fuck they do anyway.
About the law, right? So that's where the criminal is going to be our biggest help. The criminal was the biggest help to every fucking revolution, right? In history, right? The criminal element of Cuba helped support the Cuban Revolution, and most of them end up regretting it later, right? Because what's one of the first things any government does when they establish themselves is crack down on corruption and crime, right? Even though corruption and crime is usually what got them to win the revolution.
This morning.
But, the freest motherfuckers in the country are the people who've been rolling outside the law for a long time. They understand that the law means shit. They understand that what that fucking new Homeland Security person said, talking about you know, they don't have to follow laws. They have to follow the policy of the president of the administration.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this much. I don't give a fuck no more, Mule. Not that I fucking barely did before. Obviously, zero fucks given. And I'm just saying, I'm making my way to the front of this crowd, and the crowd is getting thinner. These fucking 2A people, they don't represent me. These motherfuckers jacking guns off all day, and that's all they do. That shit don't represent me. I got one battle rifle, all right? That's the battle rifle I use, I train with, I eat shit, sleep with. That's the rifle. I don't got fucking 40 million attachments. I don't got sponsors. You know, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. The time for all that shit is done, motherfuckers, you stupid fucking lazy motherfuckers. You so-called, yeah, I'm on your team, bro, but, you know, you're sounding kind of radical. It's not time for that. The next time I hear motherfuckers say that, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to hear your fucking bullshit. Our founding fathers shot motherfuckers over way less, and I'm just repeating a meme. That's all I'm doing.
Well, just go read the one I posted there today on the Green Dragon. It's self-explanatory.
And that's right? The truth. That's the fucking truth. I mean, even I don't know. We could have the argument. I would say.
Well, no, you know as well as I do. Our founding fathers were not fucking career politicians. These were not people who did anything other than wanted to be free of the yoke of tyranny, right? They were traitors to the crown, traitors to their local governments, right? And if they were caught, they were hung. And when our founding fathers were caught, because a few of them were, they lost their lives, they lost their liberty, and they lost their property. And that's revolution, right? This bullshit, oh, we're going to have a revolution in the Senate. No, you can't have a revolution within the confines of the government that's corrupt from the fucking soul.
It's not going to be a revolution. It's going to be a fucking civil war. And I know because I got the fucking proof, because I fight with these motherfuckers all day long. Especially today, to hear it out of this idiot's mouth, we will join the feds. We will join the police in fighting the militia and fighting the patriots and the 3%ers. That's what they said.
Yeah, but dude, they said it on fucking line, dude.
I understand that, Mule, but I said that earlier. I talk to people in real life with these mentalities, with these same.
Yeah, well, so they've said to your face that, because I've asked people to their fucking faces who I know are fucking liberals, and they're like, they start talking about out their neck how they're all for taking the guns. I'm like, so who's going to do it? And they're like, well, you know, the government will do it. Well, you know, most of the people in law enforcement are gun owners, so you're probably going to lose them. Most of the guys in the military, they didn't join the military because they didn't like guns. So you're going to lose a large portion of them. So are you going to step up and volunteer and come to my fucking house? Well, what do you mean? Well, how are you going to get the gun out of my hands? We're going to tell you it's a buyback. We're going to tell you have to turn it in. And so I asked him, I'm like, you're smoking weed with me, idiot. What makes you think that I'm going to give up my fucking gun any more than I'm going to give up this fucking dude? Well, I never thought of it like that. Yeah, because you come knocking on my gun, you come knocking on my door, asking for my gun. I don't give a shit how politely. The answer you're going to get is going to be running at about 2,000 feet per second. Because that's America, baby. And that's the sad fucking truth of the matter. But that seems like that's the push they want. I don't think they have the fucking balls to jump in and fucking do any of that shit. Because like I said, when I talk to real human beings, not the fucking idiots on the internet, when I sit and talk to real fucking human beings and they want to espout that bullshit, they are not coming to my door. They're willing to send somebody else to my door.
You gotta understand right now for like 26 weeks, basically, I've been going to classes which are within the confines of the city court building, whatever. I don't know. It's one of the high rises downtown, and all the instructors are liberals. All the guards are liberals. All the people in the classes are liberals. Everybody is liberals, and everybody is talking, voicing their opinion about the politics of the day. And it's like verbatim. The shit you hear on TV is how these people think. You know what I mean?
But you will get in large amounts of trouble in that environment if you start spouting what you know to be true, right? Or asking that same question I just said. Who's going to come get it? Because you're asking sheep. Are you going to line up to get your wool taken off your body? And they'll go, of course I am. It's part of my job. I'm supposed to get shorn, aren't I?
Yeah, you're talking to people that would be sitting on their couch watching, MSNBC all day long and taking every little last bit of it for, fact.
Yeah. So when I talk to real people, not the fucking internet trolls, and even most of them these days ain't got no answer for that. Right? Most of them these days have got zero answers on how they're gonna. Well, we'll try a buyback. We'll ask for it voluntarily. We'll make it a law and see what people are gonna do. And it's like, yeah, they did that in Connecticut and New York. How's that working out? They did that in California, right? How's that working out?
Yeah, the people either resist it or they just
ignore it.
Comply, but comply in a way that they, don't have any of the firearms or whatever that are illegal.
Well, no, I know in New York, I have plenty of friends back east in New York, growing up there, and I talk to them all the time, and they have just not done it. They haven't done a single thing the government told them to do.
That's great. It's great.
Right? And what they say is they got to come get them. And how are they going to come get them when I haven't put my name down on a piece of paper?
Exactly, right? Yeah. And also, a lot of the sheriffs, especially in upper state or upstate New York, will not come to your house and mess with you. It's just the state troopers.
Actually, a lot of the sheriffs upstate New York are signing off quickly on concealed carry permits. A concealed carry permit in New York can take anywhere between 6 months and 3 years, right?
Oh yeah.
But in upstate New York right now, there are a lot of counties that their particular permit process has been shortened down to a month, which is like a wet dream in New York.
Yeah, I think my county is only like 3 months now, which is much less than it used to be. It used to be like over a year.
Yeah. Why? Because these smaller counties, especially in places like upstate New York or where I live now in Illinois, when you're on the outside, 100 miles away from a major fucking city, I mean millions of people city, those small communities are going, holy shit, we want our rural population, we want our small town to be armed.
Yep.
Because if shit does go sideways, for whatever reason, where do you think those rats are going to go when they're abandoning the ship?
Right, exactly. And my sheriff just a couple weeks, like 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, last week, said, hey, they wrote a letter on Facebook. He wrote a letter on Facebook saying, hey, if you have a concealed carry permit, carry a firearm. If you have it, carry. And if you don't have it, think about getting one. And that was so controversial. All the hippies were coming out of their woodwork saying, you're telling people to create a militia. Okay, what's your point?
Yeah.
What's your point?
Yeah.
What's your point? It's crazy. Yeah, man.
Well, because, see, they've taken this, you got to remember, in the past couple of wars we've fought against, they started out calling them militias, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the militia term has a bad connotation in the taste of the American people since 9/11, because that's what, and before 9/11, I mean, the Clinton fucking White House, you name it. In America, militia has come to be associated with anti-government, even though it shouldn't be, right? Because the true term of militia is to help out the local government, right? It's the local defense force. It's to help out. It's the local national. It's not a national guard. It's the local guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's why every time I have to get into deep arguments with people when they say the National Guard is the militia. It's no, it's not.
Yeah, I've had arguments with people like that too. Well, the Constitution, never said anything about, arming the people. All it is just saying that we could have a National Guard and they could be armed. Are you retarded? Yeah. Are you retarded? Please go back and read the Constitution. Do me a favor, please.
What? you're never going to get anybody to you can't get a constitutional scholar who's president of the United States to read the fucking thing.
Yeah, in quotes, a constitutional scholar, right?
Well, it's kind of like where it says in the Second Amendment. Piers Morgan was talking about where does it say anything about assault rifles, and I think somebody replied to him right beside where it says muskets.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Nugent.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Pretty sure that was Ted. You know,
Yeah,
but
the messed up part is the good part of our country would be that, okay, you hate guns, you hate this, you hate that. So you move to California or you move to New York. You go to these places, these so-called safe havens where it's all no guns and a whole bunch of, it's perfect utopia. You go to these places. Why come to Arizona? Why come to Nevada? Why come to Idaho? Why come to these other states where people, for the majority, they love their freedom, they love life and everything. I'm not moving to California trying to spread, gun awareness. I live in Nevada. I always have, born and raised here. You know what I mean? And
the reason why is because they fucked up all those places, right? Why do New Yorkers flee New York and head down to the South? Because they fucked up New York, right? Mm-hmm. They like the urban, they like the pizza, the movies, the things to do, right? But they've allowed the law and the draconian fucking governments to take over control, right? To where they don't actually want to live in these places anymore, right? Their ideas panned out, and it turns out they were fucking terrible. Right?
Yeah, nobody I know wants to stay in New York. Nobody I know has a legitimate reason other than the fact that they, their job is there to stay in New York. They would move in a heartbeat if it wasn't for the fact that they have a good job here.
Right, and it's the same with California, right? Look at large portion, well, not large, but portions of the California population moved to Colorado, right? And what happened? All of a sudden, they started being these liberals from California moved to the fresh air of Colorado because they fucked up California, right? So now they're living in Colorado, and what's the first thing they do once they're able to get some Democrats in office? They go, let's start with guns. We want to do a magazine ban and a ban. And they got it through. And then all of a sudden, the real people of Colorado, not the fucking carpetbaggers, came out and ripped those people out of office for the most part.
Right.
Right? And now they got up in 2016, they got a reversal to reverse that fucking 30-round magazine ban.
Yeah.
Because people
New York
are sick
is
of the
never
carpetbaggers.
Yeah, New York is never going to get fixed. That's the fact of the matter, because and states like New York and California never going to get fixed because the corruption and the tyranny in these states are just so deep into every little bit of politics, every little bit of business that it's not going to happen peacefully.
New York has been tyrannical for 300 years. The city of New York.
Yeah,
okay?
That's my point.
It never stopped being. Our country's not 300 years old, so understand why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand
New York City has been tyrannical since before our country was born. Yeah. The last place the British had boots on the ground that they considered their soil until they totally capitulated to these United States was Manhattan Island.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Right? They left out of New York, and that was the setting of the British Empire in the United States. Right? New York is never going to fucking change. It always loves tyranny. It loves a strong leader. It loves a dictator to tell it what to do. Even when it's a benevolent one, like, say, Figueroa LaGuardia, who was a benevolent dictator. Or Joseph Smith, who was another benevolent dictator as the mayor of New York. Or even Ed Koch, another benevolent dictator.
You know what tells me that New York is not going to change is when the governor creates an anti-corruption group that investigates themselves, and then when it gets turned on them, when it gets turned on the governor and the people around him, he shuts it down and he gets away with it. Plus, he does tons of other unconstitutional stuff and gets away with it every day, along with everyone around him.
That's like stop and frisk. Just you look guilty. Hold your hands out. I'm gonna pat you down. That's real special.
Yeah, and people think that ended. It didn't really end.
Yeah, they just
Just
call it
got it
something
harder.
else now.
Yeah.
They're just calling it something else now in New York. Right? Now they're calling it frisk and stop.
Yeah, they changed the names a little
Yeah.
bit. And ooh, look at
And
that.
yeah, New York is a dictatorship. You've just laid out plans on why, and the new corruption that's being done by the federal district attorney for the state of New York, that district, I don't even remember, and they're doing this fucking huge probe, and they're going after the governor again, and he's doing everything in his power to shut him down. And I can almost guarantee you he'll be reelected in New York.
Oh yes, he will. Oh yeah, he just did. He just got reelected. So when he when he turns up again, he'll get reelected again because New York City always votes for him. You know, if it wasn't for New York City, the voters in New York City, we would have had Rob Astorino in New York, and he probably would have repealed the SAFE Act, and he probably will at least pushed as hard as he possibly can to do all that stuff. And you know, that was like the one chance. But you know what? It's never gonna happen if New York City is still part of the state of New York. And there's huge plans to bump it off, make that the state of New York, and this like New Amsterdam or
it's going to be it's going to be the Empire State.
Oh, okay.
But those plans have been in, people have been trying to work that shit forever,
For
man.
years, yeah.
Everything past Westchester and Orange County fucking hates that whole lower part of the fucking state.
Yeah.
You could cut it off. You could cut it off in the Palisades and kick it out in the ocean. Nobody give two shits about fucking,
New York City, yeah.
Manhattan or Long Island or Staten Island for that matter. Even though Staten Island isn't even part of New York City when you look at the way it votes.
There's a town 20 minutes from here that during the summer and winter peak of like winter sports, 96% of all crime is committed by people that come from New York City or around that area. 96%.
Well, don't forget Connecticut. Every time somebody says they're going to do something, Connecticut jumps up ahead of the game. We're the first. Because their governor was the first one to come out and sign the bill that if you're on a watch list, you can't purchase a gun.
Yeah.
Well, most people don't realize that, and Connecticut's committing suicide by going against the gun industry because that was the only industry it had in its fucking state.
Yeah.
Right? And it's Connecticut has become a bedroom community for the financial district of New York City, right? Except for its ghetto areas of like Hartford and shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Constitution state. Huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
But most people don't realize just how dastardly New York City is, man. They've been, how they've been able to have a reduction in crime and gotten rid of a lot of things is because they got rid of a lot of their ghettos. That's called gentrification, right? Why is there more white people in Harlem now than there's been in 100 years? Because they've emptied those neighborhoods out and sent them up to small cities like Newburgh and Poughkeepsie.
Oh, yeah, Newburgh and Poughkeepsie suck now.
Marcells. Oh, yeah, they used to be beautiful little cities, right? Industrial cities. Industry's gone, and now all they have is poverty. Yep. That's been shipped up from the Bronx and Brooklyn and Queens and Manhattan.
Yeah, Kingston's starting to get a lot of it now too, from cities and stuff. Oh man, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like I said, I still have a ton of family back there, so I still get to hear it.
Yeah.
And all of them are, all of them tell me I'm smart. I'm like, yeah, I knew that then. That's why I've been gone so long.
Yeah. Yeah, New York is a mess. California is a mess. Connecticut is becoming larger of a mess.
Well, and that's where if we have a civil war, it's not going to be the kind that we went through in the past. This would be a different kind of civil war. It won't be brother against brother facing each other on a line somewhere in fucking Virginia, right? No, it's brother against brother facing each other on a line in fucking Walmart.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like you said, Tony, before, the people to the left of you, the people to the right of you are your fucking enemy. Because they're the people that are buying into this bullshit instead of thinking for themselves and finding out the information for themselves. I have yet to meet a liberal that can sit there and argue their fucking point, right, for the most part, from a studied point of view, from an analytical, cold-hearted, facts-alone point of view.
And then there's the ones that act smart, right? There's the ones that are like scientists or whatever, and they'll plop a bunch of crap in front of you, and it's just, and you sit there and you're like, yeah, did you look more into all of that stuff? Because that same study proves me right and proves you wrong. So, and they just take little bits of it and they use it for their advantage, right? Those are the people that everyone calls the smart liberals.
But that's where it's our fault if we're not doing our part of finding out our own facts and being able to argue ourselves from that position of strength, from being able to say, look, the CDC says, the FBI says, the Attorney General says, you know what I mean? And when you can't when you can come out with that, it's like, well, I don't think. Well, again, then you start arguing, I've gotten a giant fight with somebody over that whole, and it was funny because it was easily shut down, but somebody wants to argue with me about how anybody who owns a gun has a little dick, right? So I brought up a guy who used to come into my bar all the time up in Sullivan County, right? Ron Jeremy. And I'm like, look, that it's not true, and they're like, well, of course it is. If you like guns, you got to have a little penis. And it's like, no, that's not the way that shit works. Right? And
I was told I looked like Ron Jeremy, but only from the waist down.
There you go, right? So again, another person proving my point. You know what I mean? And it just blows their mind when they start. The second you bring up facts and science into the equation, they bring up feelings. So who's the other dragon that just came in? God, I'm surrounded by dragons.
Hey, Mule, what's up? What's up, Tony?
What's up, players?
Hey, what's up, Nugs?
Yeah, HDP wants to jump in here, so I'm trying to get him a link.
Hell yeah. I tell him I'll throw one up on his Facebook. It'll take
yeah, that's what I just asked him. I told him on Facebook, so.
Well, I can dare say that I have not met a single person. Now, that doesn't mean they won't when the pressure comes on. It's just like we were talking about. People will stick with you till the water starts boiling. But I have yet to meet a single person that says they're going to turn their guns in or be bought out of their guns unless it's some kind of exorbitant amount.
Not right now.
I hadn't met a single person that's going to give them up.
Yeah, and I haven't had a single person who honestly thinks they're going to come and take them from somebody else. And that's because that's always my question anymore. Is okay. So you want guns out of American hands? How are you going to do that? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. I mean, all this talk about what you want.
They don't mind doing it because they're not going to be the ones that do it. They don't.
That's their mistake.
They don't mind sending the police or the government, which is technically on all grounds when we're being technical. They don't mind sending other Americans to kill or be killed by other Americans because they're just they're such fence riders that even when they get what they want, they're still just sitting on the fence waiting for it to happen, waiting for it to be done,
Right. Hey, HD, I just posted it to your Facebook. Anyway, yeah, but but that's where when I'm talking to real people, it gets to a different level than it does when you're just talking online, right? So when I'm sitting there and I'm having a, calm. Thank God I smoke a lot of weed, but a calm conversation with people, right? And I get it down to the nitty gritty. So what? You're gonna send the cops that to my house to get my guns when I'm not gonna want to give them up? And they're like, well, maybe not like that. Yeah, because I know the same cops in this town, and I know they're not coming for my guns. They've told me that at the fucking grocery store. They've stopped me at the gas station after reading my fucking window and going, you ain't got to sweat it. We're on your side. Right? So these people who think the cops are all going to come mashing down because they were told to, they're out of their fucking mind. Those guys don't want to die either. And that's where when I get to talk to, I change people's minds in the flesh. when I start breaking it down to them. Because it then comes down to that question, well, if you're not going to send Joe to cop, who are you going to send? Your kid to my door? Do you want your 20-year-old dying here in America on the doorstep of your neighbor?
See, but to me, these motherfuckers are so selfish, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, the people that are going to enforce it, you know, you got the diehard motherfuckers, they don't give a fuck anyways, you know what I'm saying? They're down to do it and, you know, go kick in some doors and make that shit happen. But I don't, Mule, I'm just starting to get the feeling that there's a lot more people against us than for us. And all I'm saying is those lazy fucks that are fine with legislating that and signing on to that and backing that, they ain't going to be the same ones that are going to fucking do the work, you know? They ain't going to do the dirty work themselves, but they support it.
Dude, part of your problem is you talk to a lot of people in a government fucking building, right? That are all going to anger management classes.
I live in a liberal city. That's more of the problem.
Right, that's also a big problem, right? Because just think about the thing that we've been laughing about for so long, how every time Obama opens his mouth, more guns are bought. New people are going out and buying guns. Do you think everyone that just bought that last 100 million fucking guns in the past 8 years, 7 years, are going to turn around and just give them over to the government because they asked for them? They went out and bought them because they thought the government was going to try that shit. And what does that tell you? That should give you a warm and fuzzy feeling inside. Right? They bought them thinking the government was going to come and try and take them. And guess what? It's not me doing it. I'm not buying guns every time the asshole opens his fucking mouth. I'm buying ammo every week, but not guns every fucking time somebody says something, because I don't have to worry about it. And more people every day are buying them, right? Buying them on Black Friday, record. After Paris, record. After San Bernardino, record. After Obama opens his mouth and tells him says he's gonna have to do something about guns, fucking record. Nick checks. Nick checks. That's not gun sales. That's just background checks to say you're eligible to be able to buy a gun. You can buy 3, 4, 5, 10 guns under one fucking Nick check. Right? But this is why I'm not as worried. What's up? Hey, what's up, HD?
Oh, I'm just. You always get ahead of me on my next video, so I had to jump in so I could, get it in. I was just. Right. I think we're going down the same road, me and Tony's line of thought, after I read that letter today that he was talking about.
Oh, I believe it.
Do you see the fucking people that are claiming to be from that county arguing with me? Calling the Bundys goons?
Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering.
They're all fucking Wild West, and they don't need that Wild West shit up there. And dude, I had to calm myself down, man. I'm like fucking. That's the lowest of the lows. I'm gonna say that right now. For you to fucking have some type of pretend balls to call the Bundys any vile names at all, you gotta be a real low piece of shit. Because I'm telling you right now, I've been out there. Oh, he's a racist. Well, my family is from Mexico, so okay, so I must have been the only person that wasn't white out there, right? What else do they call him? This, that. It's fucking disgusting, dude. And it's just, it's time for the checks and the balances to come back for shit like that.
Well, what I would like to see is some video from the ground, because they say there's this command center's been moved in, and some other assets from either state or federal, but I haven't seen no video on it, and somebody up there's we gotta get HDT up there to do some video, because he should be close by.
Up in Oregon.
Yeah, I think he's like 2 hours away or something. But
because
without some visual stuff, it's he said, she said, and out here in in our world. So who do you believe?
Make it right. I mean,
yeah, but for him to go out on the limb and repeat that, because I've went to them guys about shit that I've heard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. They confirmed. They even mentioned the county that some of the stuff came from and everything. I mean, they had their info pretty tight, but still, if you want to, do propaganda wars, you got to have some on the ground footage or something.
Well,
I can't believe we don't have it when after the network that's out there that we can't get that.
Well, remember, I mean, the only reason why everybody showed up as strong as they did down in Bundy was because we got a video of a BLM worker, some government stooge attacking an unarmed woman with a dog.
For sure.
That rallied the troops.
Well, no, the snipers on the hill did. That woman getting tasered was the Friday that I left, or the Thursday that I went down.
So, but the visual images are what did it, right? And that Friday, when that woman got tasered, right, and the dog sicked on them, it was a mobilization for anybody within that area to be able to drive that weekend, right? You too, you ended up shooting down and hooking up with Tony, right? You were already planning on doing it, but more people showed up than the original plan, even with the snipers, because all of a sudden, the fucking government's sicking dogs and tasers on people.
Yeah.
And that's just, you need, like you said, you need the visuals. You need them. You need to show. If there's a command center down there and the government troops are acting like thugs, you need to show it.
Yeah.
That's the way you get people to respond.
And that's what I'm wondering. Like, why don't they have that? I mean, they listed like where it came from and what it was, and okay. But it's right now. I don't know. Nobody can prove it either way right now.
I mean, they got the video.
But irrespective, what I was wondering is, what does all that stuff do? Because I don't know what the purpose of that would be, because nobody's talked about doing anything.
They said they did it because they got a threatening email.
Oh, for the one thing for the sheriff. Is that what? So the sheriff claimed that based on one email, like his people
can't
do
anything?
Claiming
that his life was threatened by militias.
Well, that's all they need to do anything they want these days is some, they can come up with something that says, oh, look, he sent an email here, and because he did that. Well, look at that guy up in Oregon. Is it Oregon? Is this the? No, that's in Washington State, right? The guy who's busted for supposedly talking about telling somebody else hearsay charges, right? So he told some CI that he wants to sell his SBR, and that was enough to get this guy put in jail.
Well, and that's the thing about it too. If a sheriff gets that threat, he can hand that over to the FBI, and they'll trace that back. And I guarantee within a day, they would know where it came from.
Yeah, but what if they knew where it came from already, right? I mean,
exactly. I know. Yeah.
Just look at what's being exposed right now in Europe, where a lot of these threatening ISIL emails are coming out of the fucking British Ministry of Defense. Where the people of the world are going, well, we can trace back any bad guys as well as any government organization. Right, and they trace it back, and it turns out that the threatening emails, a lot of the terrorist traffic is coming directly out of the British fucking Ministry of Defense. What makes you think that?
Yeah, no surprise there.
Yeah, but I mean, you're telling me the FBI couldn't send an email to themselves?
You got like. Go ahead, Mule. Sorry.
No. Go ahead. I talk too much.
I was just going to add that it's like back there after 9/11, like 2003 or 4. It basically got proven or leaked or whatever through the CIA that they were faking Bin Laden videos. They were actually producing Bin Laden lookalikes to get on camera, act like Bin Laden, and not only that, they did this a lot. This is admitted. This is declassified. They got caught doing it, but nobody wants to. Bring that up. The fact that they would actually go through a production procedure and fake a video and put it into the public's view as real.
Oh yeah, but because they can legally push propaganda, that went through Congress before 9/11.
Right.
But I mean, I still have arguments with people over the fact, the crack epidemic was done by the CIA, right? Do you remember the crack of the 80s, the one that drove, crime skyrocketing through the roof? Yeah, that was all planned because of Ronald Reagan. No, Yeah, dude, you go Iran Contra. Right? Everybody's come out and declassified it and admitted that the crack epidemic in the country was supported by the CIA to keep the Sandinistas in power, right? So they could override, take over Nicaragua. And nobody believes it, even though, look, it's in your history books. I didn't read that history book. Well, go read a book to begin with, and then read that history book, you knucklehead.
And if you don't work with them, they'll get rid of you and get somebody in power that will work with them.
Yeah. Yeah. But, what are you going to do? I just think, I think where we have to worry, right? We have to fix this country, or else it's going to, it's going to be even worse.
It's not going to happen.
You may be correct.
I think that's what Tony's talking about.
But I still think the American people, there are more quiet people out there to think like we do than there are us noisy ones.
I agree with that. Just look at the amount of gear and guns being sold.
What's up, Breeze?
What up? How you doing? Thanks for the link, Tony.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
I don't know how you got erased, but you disappeared from my friends. I don't know. I guess the TSA is looking at you.
It's funny because I go to send you a link right now, and I'm punching your name in, and you ain't fucking coming. I'm like, what the fuck? So I punched it in like exact word for word, and it said, all my friends are friends with you, Jeremy and Mule, and everybody's friends with you, but to add friend. I'm like, what the fuck? So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was way easier because I sent out some links, man, and everybody got links, and the people that I sent out links are saying they didn't get links, so.
Sometimes I get the link, but I don't. Probably the first night that I got 15 minutes, and I can, or whatever, I can join you guys. Normally, still moving everything, so.
Yeah, I know. The basement's looking better and better.
Yeah, long process. Money.
Oh, I bet. Well,
Yeah.
now at least you have a place to put all your toys.
Correctamundo. Yeah, one of these days we gotta talk about toys too. I know now they got more important.
That's a separate chat.
Now, by the way, I'm agreed with Mule. I think that even people that never bought a gun are probably buying gun right now, which is a bad thing probably. I mean, for one side it's a good thing because everybody realized they need one. But it's a bad thing because most of the people were the one before were actually against us, I guess. You know what I mean? Because now everybody's shitting their pants. But I don't
care what made them come to our side. I'm just glad to welcome them over, right?
Yeah.
The fact that people can change their mind and see that's especially after there's people in the liberal press coming out and talking about how the First Amendment, this is something that drove me up a wall, right? So there's this professor that has come out and been pushing in the media that maybe we need to do away with the First Amendment because of this terrorist threat, right? And because of people's hurt feelings and blah blah blah. Maybe there's some things we shouldn't talk about as whatever, right? And I think pushes like that push people towards, well, you know what? I really need a gun. Why are you saying that just because they threaten the First Amendment? Because that means they really are after every single one of our civil rights.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I keep saying, everyone, they come for the first, then they come for the second.
Look, the thing is we all fucking know that. That's my whole point of this whole thing right here is to not repeat no fucking dumb Facebook memes or any fucking thing that's already obviously been said already. There's a whole bunch of people that claim to be where we are and where we are in frame of mind. And what I was telling Mule is when people talk to me in real life and they get me unfiltered off this internet where I feel like I don't want to go to jail because I just was there in November and it wasn't fun. Nobody is where I am, dude. Nobody is where I am. I would think even maybe if I talk to High Desert, I probably might be ahead of him. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a couple months off the record. But I'm pretty
Hey,
far,
February. February, be ready. I'll see you in February.
dude. I'm pretty fucking up there, bro. I am pretty far along past everyone else. That's all I'm gonna say. And
Well,
uh,
you're not as alone as you think you are, is what I'm going to tell you, Tony. At least, maybe in your area, maybe like we've said for a long time, is that you don't know the right people, right?
Correct.
my
But
Yeah.
problem is I fucking don't trust nobody, dude. That's my
I,
real problem. I mean, I'll vet motherfuckers and I'll fill them out for a while, and they always end up being what the fuck I thought most people are, anyways. Sorry as fuck. You know
yeah,
what I
well,
mean?
that's why, dude. You know, if you're looking for more than 3%, you're praying in vain. And I personally am only looking for 1%.
Hey,
That's why, when you were talking about you only have one battle rifle.
hey,
Well,
I
I
ain't
have three. Why? Because I have to provide yeah, exactly.
I didn't lose this yet. I'm not gonna show the whole card, but I ain't
I,
lose that yet.
I have to provide the other people in my three-man militia with their stuff.
Why can't they get their own?
Right?
Think about it for a minute. I don't trust anybody. Why? And who are the only people I
Well, if you
trust?
Hey, hey, here you go. This one's for you, Mule.
Those that know me and know the story, I trust people who I've done things with, things that might get you in trouble.
Well, check this out. Hey, I got some shout outs real quick. I'm going to stall the chat for like 2.5 minutes, and then we're going to pick back up where we were. But I'm going to do some shout outs real fast. I'm going to take this shot, and I'm going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Not a Happy Holidays, but Merry Christmas. I don't know how busy I'll be next week. I might be in Northern Nevada. Well, I'll be in Central Nevada. I always think I'm in Northern, but it takes a long time to get up to Northern Nevada. So, winging it, Tracy out there. Tracy, shout out to Tracy. He was one of the guys that came out and supported the Dragon. He's been following the Dragon. I've known him for a while. He's been out at Bundy Ranch, so he came out and hung with us at that rally. I was only at that rally because I was pissed off. I don't even believe in this local bullshit no more. I'm just being honest. I'm just cynical as fuck. So, Fuzzy 2 out there. Digital Prophet. Yeah, I'll see you at Shot 2, bro. Smurf Killer's out there. Politically Incorrect is out there. Jim is out there. Kevin J. Stoll is out there. Partisan Gorilla is out there. Joel's Quantum Heart Logic is out there. Pet Paradox. LBCK 2012. What's up, bro? Mr. Lock and Load. Quasar, he's in the room now. El Tenda Fabrizio, he's in the room now. Mule's in the room. Special guest in the room. I'm not going to say his name again. If you missed it, then you missed it. Can't be repeating myself. Sorry. Title 10, Manda. J Watt. Mr. Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy from the beginning to end, always. He's in here fucking heavy. So I don't know how busy I'll be next week. And I don't know how often I can get in here and really do a dragon where I really mean it, you know. I'm angry and I gotta have that when I walk in here. So, Merry Christmas to all you motherfuckers out there that've been watching the dragon this whole time. It's not dead, you know. It's like we can only fucking tell you it's time so many times, you know. We gotta switch it up a little bit, but. And they made it harder for us to do live events, which we experienced on Sunday. We tried to broadcast live from the event, could not. You couldn't do nothing off your phones. So we ran footage that I filmed out there, and I think I'm past 2.5 minutes, but. Cheers to all you motherfuckers. You guys know the real Patriots, the real 3%er. I love you motherfuckers. You guys are my brothers, my real fucking true brothers. And hopefully when I'm out there on that fucking 50-yard line, I ain't all by myself because this shit is starting to feel fucking shitty, you know? So cheers to you motherfuckers. I got some Jameson, and always. And I owe Jim like a fucking gallon. So that should be in the mail for Christmas, Jim.
Hey, HD, are you still there?
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. Call Rebel. He said, yes, he can.
Tell him he can.
No, I'm telling you, he can.
Like
You're
Obama?
telling me he can.
Yes.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
About that color thing you were asking about?
High Desert's lost.
Okay, yeah, I'm lost. I
No,
don't
he
know
just
what
got
you're
to think
referring
about it. You asked him if he could do something in colors.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, how did you know
Yeah.
about that? He told me.
'Cause
Oh,
I
he
talk
told
to him
me.
all the time. Dude, I talk to him. Look,
He talks to him more than you do.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. Yeah, I know that for sure. Yeah, I get left out in the cold.
well, you don't answer phone calls sometimes or
Dude,
texts.
he never answers his phone.
Yeah. So
Rebel don't
Reb
even
doesn't?
answer the shit no more. Rebel shot me a message to say, I was like, "You busy, bro?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm swamped."
Yeah.
And that's
he
it.
is.
I'm like, "Okay, motherfucker, I'm asking you because I was gonna call your ass, asshole."
No. What I'm saying is that he doesn't realize that people do want to stand up. People do want other people to know their position, right? And these offensive shirts that he's putting out that would be that would make liberals cry. People are starting to take notice, and they're putting their cash where their mouth is and buying shit. And he's now busy. He's turning this into a business.
Yeah, he should be doing pretty good business too.
He's not doing bad, dude. Not doing bad. But he wasn't expecting it to roll like that. You kind of are, but you're not.
So when's he hiring me?
He's not. I got first dibs, buddy. We keep designing
Ask him
shirts.
that.
I got first dibs.
When he gets super busy, ask him. Don't tell him. Don't forget about Tony.
I'm just gonna be a delivery boy.
Anyway, so and so he really is busy. That's why me trying to wrestle him into doing a Bearded Bastards podcast is fucking hard.
Well, I'm saying right now, man, it's kind of I don't know. I think that we need to be more. People need to be more aggressive. I think that this half-ass bullshit and this half-ass approach, talking about, I mean, everything from, like I said, the 2A rally where I show up with a rifle, where I told them I was going to show up with a rifle. They didn't want me to show up with a rifle, and that just pissed me off, so I fucking made my own protest against their protest. You know what I mean?
Oh, is that what that was all about? That's why you were across the street?
Yeah, we were fucking.
I didn't pick that up. Okay.
And it was all dragons. Look, we had the most diverse group out of the whole fucking place too. We had 3 people of Mexican descent. We had 2 white guys and 1 Indian. So, and then the kids. I guess you could count them as ethnic. I can't even say the word.
But that's the way it should be in America, right? Because the Second Amendment, the rights have nothing to do with race.
Well, I don't need to be told that. I don't need to be told that a fucking rifle is scary and shouldn't be brought to a fucking rally. You know what I mean? Don't fucking tell me that. We're way past
My rifle ain't that scary. My rifle's real small. How is this scary? It's not that big. Shit, it's small. It's the same size as a baseball bat.
I'm getting
I could twirl it like a baton.
I'm getting a Yugo soon, but I wanted to press really 2 things big time: is keep your ear close to the ground on this Hammond situation. I don't got the whole thing.
You guys out west, man. See, we don't have to deal with the BLM east of the Mississippi. And it's funny how, all these stories we were hearing there for a while early this year, you're not hearing, and none of this stuff's gone away. None of that shit's gone away, right? The mining crap in Oregon, the stealing of land in Utah, Nevada, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, it's still going on. BLM didn't stop at Bundy yet either, right? But we don't get everybody drifts on to something new. That's what drives. I think, Tony, that's what drives us all the most crazy, is the fact that we've been watching this shit continue for years on end. No matter how much we talk against it, it keeps going on, and it seems like people will care for a minute. Even Black Lives Matter, the second BLM 2,
Yeah.
right? Nobody's giving a
I
shit
hate
no
that.
more.
They ruin all my tweets.
Yeah. Well, they're all one and the same though. They're all pieces of shit. So it's like one Twitter tag fucking sums them all up. I mean,
But people cared about, right? Like, I'm just saying the zeitgeist cared about it for a minute. You know what I mean? And now they're on to something else.
But I mean,
to
me, it's like it's funny how people can follow such ignorant ass leadership. Like, okay, so Jesse Jackson and fucking Al Sharpton were kind of like involved off to the side a little bit, but it was younger motherfuckers that were even dumber than Jesse Jackson and fucking Al Sharpton. I mean, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson are probably pretty well educated. They just choose to be fucking liars. But the people who stepped up and that are leaders of this BLM and all that bullshit, they're just complete morons. They don't have
actually they're LBGT communists, so they're not complete morons, dude. You don't take a. You'd be smarter to give them more credit than trying to belittle them, because underestimating people is a dangerous thing, right? Back for a long time, like to play the routine of being the big stupid guy, right? And as you guys have come to know, you can say there might not be much brain, but there's more than all back. So don't underestimate them just because you don't agree with them. Hey, hate them all you want. Yeah. Don't underestimate them, right? You underestimate people like that to your follower.
See, and I can't even have no hope now because fucking HDP took that shit away. I was trying to vote for Trump. And High Desert won't leave me alone. Just busting.
Damn it, HD.
Go down that road, man.
Something.
I can't let him go down that road.
Don't drink.
Let me have some type of hope.
Don't drink Kool-Aid.
Yeah, HD knows where I stand on that, but I'm more than willing to let people support him all the way up to the end.
Dude, it's like we don't have nothing though anyway, so it's really everything is all for nothing anyways, I feel like.
I'll be honest, I like watching the political theater of it because it really is just that anymore. It's like The Voice or something or whatever the new TV show is these days, The Walking Dead.
If it was anybody, it had to be Rand Paul, right? Who I'm not saying he totally represents us the people, but from the way he is and the way he talks and everything like that, he would be the best person to keep the Constitution close to the chest. I mean, I could see him going dumb on some shit, but he doesn't have a chance. Not with who's ahead of him. He doesn't have a chance.
I don't think anybody knows what's going on with Trump, with especially the Republicans. I mean, I'm hearing, the liberals are like trying to float Romney out there. Can't you guys take Romney back? And that's the only reason why I like Trump is because
nothing to ruin Trump, and that's the only thing that gives me the idea that, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and that's the one that gives me the only reason why I like watching it is because they will stop at nothing to stop Trump.
But seriously, what does Trump stand for?
Nothing.
He stands for making America great again. America.
Exactly.
America.
Yeah. That's why it's a sideshow.
Yeah.
He's a sideshow.
But is it really a sideshow?
He has no principles.
Is it really a sideshow though?
He has a tagline.
All in.
No, it's not really. It's not. I don't think he's a sideshow.
That's all.
You're robot in High Desert. That's why I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, no, but I know where HD's. I think like HD in a lot of ways, but I don't think. Again, another one to underestimate it's your folly. The people want an outsider, right? So even guys like Rand Paul, they're insiders. They're not outsiders.
But
The American people want some kind of outsider, right? And he's a populist, jingoistic fuckstick, Trump is, who's a narcissist. The only thing Trump cares about is Trump. That's why every building he had to put his fucking name in gold on it. You know?
I think like this though, like you got nobody then. And if we ain't got nobody, which I already came to that conclusion, but everybody is telling me it's not time to go nowhere. So if it's not going, if you're telling me it's not time to go yet, but this candidate is wrong, then it's like, what do you want me to do? I already said it's time to go.
Well, as long as America's interests line up with Trump's interests, Trump's all on board.
And that's how it's gonna swing. It's gonna swing the way it's gonna swing because that's how it is. It went from everybody was so mad at Bush that they swung to fucking Obama. Now they're just looking to swing from Obama to the opposite extreme, or the pretend opposite extreme if he's pretending or whatever. In Trump, I mean that's what it is. Nobody is as extreme as Trump. You know.
Well, and Trump's running from a wonky point of view, a political wonk point of view. Trump's running like a great campaign. How? Because he's not spending a dime. He's spending minimal amounts of money, getting maximum amount of press out of it. And the press is the free advertising of politics. Even Breeze agrees.
No, I'm agree. So no, I'm listening. No, just fucking Apple.
No, the timing of that noise was perfect, though.
No, I'm agree. You know what is it's crazy. The point is he has he has some points and the people like the stuff he says, but the problem is when the people ask him how he's gonna do that, he doesn't have fucking clue. Like for example, when he's playing about the internet, the first thing the guy was told is, so you are wanna pretty much against the First Amendment, and the guy's like, oh yeah, if you're gonna prevent from terrorism. Instead of saying that, they're supposed to say, no, we're gonna find a way to filter, intercept the communication, like they do already, by the way. You know what I mean?
Gun show?
Well, see,
I didn't care about the gun show.
here's the thing about Trump, right? Trump is not a government guy. He has no idea how fucking government runs.
That's what I'm saying too.
He doesn't have policy issues. He's a fucking CEO Barker, right? He's the new fucking Barnum and Bailey. He's the new Barnum. He's the new P.T. Barnum, right? And he's following the line of a sucker is born every minute. I'm going to tell everybody what they want to hear, and they're going to elect me to a job I'm not qualified for. I have no idea what it's going to do, but I'm going to do what I've always done. I'm going to hire people under me that will know what the fuck they're doing. And I think that's what the American people see and are hoping for. They're like, be a figurehead, hire good people under you. Basically, be a George W. Bush, just don't hire Darth Vader.
Now, you know what it is? Donald Trump is pretty much the Silvio Berlusconi of America. The Italian Prime Minister, the exactly same thing. Big mouth, a lot of money, you know what I mean? Big noise, but at the end, he doesn't have like you said, he doesn't have a clue how this thing works. You know what I mean?
But you know what? People don't get to be to those positions even when they're given everything beforehand. But you don't get to stay in that position without knowing to hire at least some good people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's where our only hope may lie in that scenario. Is that he'll end up with a decent cabinet and put people in place. But I'm with Tony. I'm ready for the whole thing to come crumbling down. But I've been ready for a long time for that. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've been preparing for years.
Can you guys imagine if this is the last Christmas we have?
No, because you know what? There's going to be a tomorrow after that. Whatever happens, if anything ever happens, there's going to be another day after it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Obviously, the world's going to keep spinning. I know that.
Yeah, and even if the country turned into 13 districts, let's go fucking Hunger Zone shit, right?
Never seen it.
Hunger Games or whatever. But no, just even if we split up into 13 separate countries or we became 50 separate countries or whatever, there would still be, life after that, right? After that breakup, after the violence, there's going to be life in Syria once everything calms down. right? You look at Japan, they were at war at one point. We were bombing the fuck out of them, trying to send them back to the Stone Age. Now they are the lead of the Tech Age, right?
Yep.
Things go on, right? You destroy Sicily, guess what? Sicily's now, before the influx of all these Muslims, it was a garden spot and turning into actually one of the high points in Italy for for vacations. It was turning Sicily around.
Wow.
Yep. I'm assuming something's gonna happen for sure. I mean, sooner or later. I don't know if it's gonna be nationwide or if it's gonna be more like,
Or worldwide, yeah. I mean, you know what? It's gearing up for the worldwide shit, right? I imagine, people around 100 years ago were looking the same way we're looking. Actually, they were already at war, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're on such an edge that we're looking, how 1910 does this feel?
Yep. I gotta think about, like, for example, we are lucky that at least, till now, you still own, you can own a gun or something like self. You can defend yourself. In Europe now, after Paris, you will think the people, will improve their, you know what I mean? Normally they will go buying stuff. Now they can't anymore because the European community wants to ban all these semi-auto rifles. So pretty much they're gonna end up having only shotguns or hunting rifle, which is, and then you have.
That's not true because, you know what? Come on, Breeze. You know as well as I do, the Europeans are burying guns just like the Americans are doing.
Probably, but depend from state to state. I'm pretty sure, for example, in Italy, that a part of Italy they can easily get them from the border. I mean, Yugoslavia is across it's like a few miles away.
Yeah.
And they got guns, up to the zoo. I mean, and there's people that have, I got friends that have guns that they're like World War II stuff. You know what I mean? Still.
Hey, you know what? An MP40 is going to rock and roll just like it did then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's only very few things destroy guns. Rust, politicians, combat.
Mm-hmm. No papers. That's the best part. Yeah. But the thing is, the people now they're getting mad over there too. They're like, "What the fuck I'm supposed to do?" Because it's even worse than here. At least over here, somebody breaking your house, technically you can defend yourself. In Europe, if the guy doesn't have a gun, you're not supposed to shoot him. If he has only a knife, you might eventually shoot him. You know what I mean? But not necessarily.
Somebody out there says that. I was gonna say that too. Putin endorses Trump, guys. Come on.
Putin, see?
Dude, Putin's the fucking business, bro. That's my boy.
He is not your friend. Putin is not your friend.
Dude, we were at Bundy Ranch together, bro.
I hear you.
If you like shacking up with communist, I mean, he is a communist.
Communist, maniacal dictators. No wonder he likes
you
fucking
guys are
Trump,
tripping,
right?
man. He's not a communist, and Trump is not a Democrat, okay? You guys are fucking high. Is everybody high in here tonight?
You don't know your history then, Tone.
What do I need history for? They make it up as they go. I learn something new every day.
Hey, the thing that tickles me, though, well, it doesn't really tickle me because it's going to be sad, but all these people in low places and high places, when the power goes off, they're not on the same board anymore. They come down. They drop down to the level, if not equal to, below the people that are.
Well, and that's what they fear. That's what that whole. What do you think gun control is about? It's not about the moms that have kids in some school that get shot up, right? Because really the only ones they care about when a school shooting happens is a fucking white kid, right? They don't care about the ones that happen in Chicago every week. They don't care about the ones that happen in Philly or fucking Oakland or LA, right? They give a shit, or New York or Chicago or Boston. They don't care. They care about the ones that happen in places like Sandy Hook or Columbine or stuff like that, where literally white kids get hit. And that's because they fear it, right? The elites use that because they fear the American people having guns and always have, like I said, from the very beginning. You know, they fear the common man having guns and the common man being on par with the elite landowners. They hate that shit. Hate it with passion. And you see it. When you hear Bloomberg fucking speak, you see it. It oozes out his fucking skin. He's the real entitlement, not white privilege. It's the elite's privilege. You know, these fucking people that have been born into it, not earned it on their own.
Mhm.
Well, I'm telling you folks that if this thing might be going down in Oregon, and I just really wanted to pass this message along. It's very long, so I can't read the whole thing. It's very long. You just need to sit down and read it.
Well, can you post it over on the Green Dragon G Plus as a whole thing? You know,
Yeah.
copy and paste it and go just post it up there.
Yeah, I could do that, or it'd be a link. It depends on how it comes out.
Either way.
But I encourage people to check it out.
And that's the one that you passed along earlier, right, HD?
This is the new one. I don't know. Did you put out the new one, HD?
Put out the new what?
Did you put out the new?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you put out the new letter?
Oh, the letter came from the Bundys you're talking about?
The new letter, the one I told you about 6 hours ago?
Yeah, the one from the Bundys you're talking about?
Yeah.
Back to the sheriff?
Yeah, did you post that up at the Dragon?
I
And if
shared
you
it
haven't,
on
could you?
Dragon.
I'll go there right now.
Goodness.
I'm looking right now.
I don't know what's going on with my internet. My internet's having a lot of problems.
Well,
As soon as
hey,
I start talking bad about Trump, it kind of started getting quirky.
Alright, here you go. What the fuck? Oh, it's saying this content's not available. Ooh, weird. Hold on. Hold on there. What the fuck?
Hold on
hey,
there.
I do want to mention that one of the YouTube community, y'all know him, Truth. He called Alaska and talked to that Judge Anna that wrote that did that big write up, and he talked to her quite extensively for like 20 or 25 minutes about what's going on. And she did say to keep the faith that they are doing stuff, but she's writing up a 25-page letter, I think it is, that she's sending to all the sheriff's departments across the United States, giving them their legal standing against the federals coming in and taking over or something. I don't know. I'd rather him explain it, but it's to me it sounds like a step in the right direction. It's basically an explanation that tells the sheriffs that they have more obviously an expansion of their rights that they didn't realize they had, or some of them may realize it. But she's sending letters supposedly to all the counties of all the sheriffs, are making it available to them, or they'll know what their legal standing is in their state.
Good.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I'd rather him explain it. He's got the source and all.
Well, I think people are gonna. If people are wondering where the next big one's gonna be, from what I'm understanding, you know, people are gonna have to flood in quick too. They're gonna have to flood in quick and set up checkpoints and shit like that. I think, because I think if they lag for even a little slightest, the fucking people that they're gonna conjure up, it's gonna be ridiculous. They're gonna bring up a fucking fighting force up there this time.
Now where? To Bundy or Oregon?
To
Who are you
Oregon.
talking about?
Okay.
I'm talking about Oregon. Because supposedly, dude, if you look at the groups that are backing this, it's a lot of big groups, dude, up there in Idaho and Oregon and fucking I'm saying this. I don't know. All I'm saying is, like I said from the beginning, since I've been covering this slightly and shit, I've been paying attention to it, but I don't have anything besides what I'm getting off of Bundy Ranch because I haven't talked to those guys in a while. I haven't been out there. Um, I'm just keeping my. I'm telling everybody keep your ear close to this story and pay attention because the call. If the call goes out, it's going to be quick. You know, the call is going to be quick. It's going to be wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You remember how fast it was last time? It was within a 2 to 3 day period, if that. You know.
Hi, Steffi. I'll be right back, gents.
All right. So it happened fast, and that's the way it's gonna be. Because I mean, there was a lot of stories of people getting stopped on the way to Bundy Ranch and shit. I think that was all bullshit, but that could be real life. That could actually happen in this Oregon situation. And I don't know if it happens. A lot of us guys want to be there, but I don't know. I don't know how many of us could actually be there financially. You know. The Bundy Ranch was successful, is I think, because we had all got help basically. Well, I know I got help. I was able to be out there like almost probably 2 weeks total with all the time combined, maybe longer than that, just from people sending me shit. So gear that I didn't have, donations, so I could pay for gas getting back and out there, and to get to Oregon, I don't know. That's bucks. That's time off work. That's bucks. I don't know. On top of that, I don't even know if I can get another person to go with me. I might be able to swing it even for like a week, maybe 2 weeks max. But I don't know who the fuck I would get to go with me so that I know that I got somebody that I could trust. Like when I went to Bundy, I had High Desert with me. So I don't know how this one would work out. There's a lot of shit to work out, but that go word's gonna happen, and motherfuckers up that way need to make shit happen. People gotta support each other. They have to support each other regardless. You're not gonna believe in every last belief that somebody else believes in. You're not gonna have the exact same mindset all the way down to to where you guys are fucking what is it called, fucking in sync and shit, but you gotta have, if you have the common mind frame of liberty, freedom for you, your family to live lives uncontested by the government, then that's good enough right there. So all the other petty ass differences, all the other bullshit doesn't matter. So it's just kind of disheartening to see people talk the way that they're talking, like about Patriots, about the Bundys, shit like that. I've not only seen people on the internet, I've heard people talk that way. I've seen the media out here cover it that way. I've seen the newspapers out here cover it that way. It's just like it feeds into the dumbasses who are out here who are already liberal as fuck anyways and can't get their heads out of their asses. It validates their point because they could just look, the newspaper and the news here in our own city is saying it, so it's like, damn. What do I got? I got the damn Constitution in my hand, but they don't. You think they give a shit to look that up or give a shit? They don't. So I don't understand what the fuck we're doing. Is all I'm understanding. I need motherfuckers to meet me up there, man. So hopefully it's motherfuckers I know. Because if I go, some motherfuckers better be going. That's all I know.
Yeah, one thing I've been looking at with that is like, what's there to go do? I still haven't don't understand quite what's going on as far as what. I mean, as far as they wanted support, to talk to the sheriff and everything, but other than that, I mean, what are they looking at doing? Keeping those folks out of jail again? Is that what they're talking about? Like, what, January 4th? They're talking about they have to go back to jail or something?
Yeah, I believe that they got resentenced or some shit.
Yeah, they already one of them did a year and one of them did 3 years, I believe, and now they're coming back and making them serve the maximum, which is 5 years for each thing. So it's double jeopardy basically.
Yeah, so they're talking about preventing them serving that time. That's the goal, I guess.
Dude, at this point, it's like, doesn't even matter. You know? I kind of feel like where Ammon is coming from. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. I'm not even gonna attempt to explain on air what I feel his deal is. But I'm telling you right now, I bet you, me and him think a lot more alike than other people think alike who are in these communities that we're in. It's kind of like you watch the injustices over and over and over, and you go through the fucking grievance process over and over, and the fucking readdress over and over, and beat your head against the wall and lose ground and never really even gain ground. Like the ground we supposedly have gained is fucking mystical. It's not real. We've gained a couple rights back, maybe in the gun community, in rights that we should have never lost in the first place. I mean, if you're just getting your shit that you got stolen back from you, I mean, like, did you really? I mean, you just got your shit back a little bit, half, not even half. I'm just saying, like, at what point, when it just goes from grievances, address, readdress, over and over and over and over and over to like what? I mean, when is enough enough? When do people draw the line? When do people actually stand up for all the dumbass fucking Facebook memes they put up and all the fucking shit that they spout out the side of their face while trying to fucking look fucking straight in the corporate fucking PC world? How come you can't just be the fucking same fuck you asshole all the time? How come you hit the PC, for fucking 20 hours of the day, and then you come home and you got these like 4 hours to your fucking self where you're like, yeah, right on, fucking Patriot, fucking Bundy's, blah, blah, blah. And then you go back to the bullshit the next day and you lie for the whole day. I don't never lie. And it's probably going to get me in more trouble, but, like, I don't understand. I don't understand the apprehension in people, like as if we're supposed to be on our tippy toes walking around and shit. It's way, way past that. I'm not talking about in your face, need to be ridiculous, but I mean, and I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what I just said, actually. But I just don't see us being extreme unless it's actually, a violent act. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but when anybody let me say how to say this. Your average, what we would call conservative Republican walking around, if they hear you talking about resisting authority, that's extreme to them. Don't even mention the Democrats and such. You just talk about not liking the federal government, and they're going to look at you, they're just going to turn you off. But, I mean, even your garden variety everyday conservative is going to be like, resisting? What are you talking about? They haven't come around yet. And the whole thing that got me watching this video tonight, basically, we are past the point of no return. There is no going back to 1980, 1960, 1890, whatever.
I agree with that.
I mean, I don't know what's coming forward, what we're going to go into, but we ain't going backwards. That's for sure. We can either devolve into a police state. We can break up into lots of many little countries of different types of different makeups. You know, California, Texas Republic, et al., Western Mountain States. I don't know, whatever. Which I would prefer that case, but a lot of people like the. It seems like, but you know.
But we can, I mean, can we agree that it's like the whole like the whole legislative side of things is over with, or the whole I don't even know what I mean. The whole phone calls and emails and grievances and addresses and readdresses and all this bullshit, all that shit, that's pretty much done with. I mean, right? I mean, if you're telling me that nobody up on that stage can save us,
I wouldn't say
I don't think that anyways, but
it's done with. I think that those nobody's going to save you, but it's about the message and about down to the understanding. And I said this in my last video. You know, there's still people out there that can be brought around, and just if it's for the sake of their own sake of not being shocked when this all falls apart, even if that's just the purpose of it.
have you
But I
endorsed
mean,
anybody?
what's that?
Have you endorsed anybody?
I support a message. I don't support anybody, and that's the whole point behind.
One candidate right now?
Well, Rand Paul's got the only message that makes sense. He's the only one not wanting to, you know, bomb people or get bombed back, and talks about, you know, things that make sense. But people want to listen to the character and listen to the attitude and the people want the what's the word? Not character, personality. They want the Trump personality of pushing people around.
Well, at that, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna ask everybody. I'm gonna
I
ask
feel that
everybody.
America's been pushed around for 8 years.
I'm gonna ask everybody in here, and then I'll give my opinion. But I think Mule stepped out. Unless you're there, Mule. Saints, you have you endorsed anybody? Where are you at? What do you think?
Uh, if everybody on the Republican panel got knocked dead by lightning bolts, and there was nobody left but Rand Paul, they wouldn't let. I don't think they'd let Rand Paul be president. And I like Rand Paul.
There's a bullet coming for him if he gets past.
They're not
Anything
going to let
else?
him do that. The money is not going to let him do that. The big money industrial complex, big pharma, and all that, and they're not going to let him do it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I would agree with that.
the way that he comes off is too soft and subtle.
That's because you want a character, you want a personality. You're not listening to the message.
That's not what I want. That's not
You're
what
not
I
listening.
want. I want that motherfucker to be more assertive. I want him to stand the fuck up and be way more assertive and be like, look, I'm trying to explain to you. Look, when Trump check this out, High Desert.
You got to remember who he's talking to, though, Tony. Again, he's talking.
When Trump has rallies, he says, look, I'm not going to fuck around. He talks like me and you talk, right? So Rand Paul's got to be at a campaign thing like, look, people, you don't understand how serious it is. If we don't get this shit in line, we are going to be fucked. That's what he needs to say. And to say that, he needs to stop talking.
He did say that. He said it. It's not the way you want it. You want it packaged your way. He said it very clearly. Our debt is going to destroy America.
Rand Paul is United States of America. Donald Trump's United States of business.
What do you do? What do you do with the guy that's so? We got a year. We got a year left. Okay, but he's down. He's down, and all the people you would think that would be fucking with Rand are with Bernie Sanders. Not all, but a lot of them. A lot of them.
No.
The Ron
You mean the
Pauls
young
and the
crowd?
Rand Pauls is totally different, is what I'm trying to say.
No, there's not. No, I've heard nobody. I saw somebody post that they said their friends that ran into that, but that
I,
is just total
young
comments on their part because
generation, it seemed
they
like
don't see.
a lot of young people were excited about Ron Paul. A lot of young people are not excited about Rand Paul at
Oh yeah,
all.
yeah they are.
Excited about
There's
Bernie
tons of university groups are out there for him. But again, it's not about him. It's about the message because, like you said, he's boring. So it's about what he's saying, not about him.
And I understand that, but we need a winner, right? I mean, it's all about winning.
No, it's about the message because there is no win because whoever wins, it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change. I think we've said that multiple times on here
Well, no, I mean, but the guy that's going to change it has to win
for years.
Open. Okay, if
Our Congress
those other guys, my point is,
we
though,
just said if the guy that can change it gets in, they're going to kill him, just like Jay.
okay, so
it's not about the person.
What
It's
does
about
that
the
leave
message.
all out on the other? What does that leave on the stage? Is my point. Who else is on the stage? It's like Rand or bust, right?
It's World War III or Rand Paul, yeah.
All right, yeah.
I mean,
and Rand Paul.
What I saw the other night, I mean, Christy said I would have started.
I talked a lot of shit about Rand Paul too. As much as I like him, as much as you like him, as much as Saints likes him, as probably as everybody in this whole panel likes him, he doesn't have a Hail Mary shot right now.
No,
Yeah,
ask
I don't care about him. It's about the message.
But nobody else is gonna fucking repeat that. So all I'm saying is we're fucked.
I've said that for a long time, but I'm gonna back a guy that says the right things. It's like you walking down the street doing you're out there protesting on the street. I'm backing you, even though it's not gonna matter.
So I'm going for Trump because I don't like losing. All right.
I mean, what are you gonna win? I mean, are you kidding me? What wins?
Dude, I'm winning presidents, bro. I'm winning presidents. Come on. Like football. I'm gonna have fucking shirts on.
Okay. Gotcha. It's all about winning. Go for it.
It's all about winning. It's not even. It doesn't even matter what happens. It's just, I'm the 12th. I'm the 12th man. Seriously, I'm the 12th man. So.
You're the true league section.
Dude, I'm the 12th man. I affect what happens. Really.
You're the 12th man. You're reading fucking World War Z or something?
To the president. I'm the 12th man to the president, and I like winning, so I'm voting for Trump. You guys got to know I'm fucking around. High Desert don't think I'm fucking around. Do you guys know?
I'm just trying to clearly explain my point. I mean, because you talk like a lot of other people do, that what you're saying is regularly said. I mean, you can follow my Twitter feed and just see the Bernie Sanders supporters and Trump supporters and be like, people are out of your mind.
Dude, hey, it's all about the message, though, just like you said. I like Trump's message. There you go.
Bomb Syria and make America great again.
No, he didn't say nothing about bombing America. He said let Russia bomb
Syria.
Yeah. He said he don't want no part of that.
When did he say that?
He said it lots of times. I'll shoot you some video.
Okay. Right on.
All I'm saying is, I vote for 1776. So I'm just playing with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy my political ride over this next year. Because Rand Paul would be the only person that would keep the Constitution close to the chest, and that ain't happening. So what we're playing is a big game for the next year, because you motherfuckers, not in this panel, but you motherfuckers have told me, and I've seen it in the comments, that I'm actually, some people in this room have told me that I'm a little bit ready, about to butt squirt early here. I'm about to have an American Pie moment here, because I'm just ahead of the gun.
Hold on, Tony. The people in the room that have said that to you, right, said that to you last year. So we've been proven out that you were ahead of the, premature ejaculating then.
Yes.
Right? Yes, that's a funny, ugly sweater.
All I'm saying is I've been on, you know what team I've been on. So right now for this next year, it's one big game. And I'm going to fucking play and I'm going to have fun because I might as well have fun before fucking I'm enslaved or the other option that can't be mentioned on the thingy. But they've made movies about it, a couple.
Yeah, I don't think Rand Paul's got a snowball's chance.
Nope. And
But
that's
I like I like what Rand Paul's saying.
same here.
He needs the only difference is he needed to walk out on the stage with a baseball bat in his hand and beat on the freaking podium right there and say, "All right, the rest of you motherfuckers, shut up. I'm fixing to talk."
No. He needs to beat them motherfucking politicians with that fucking baseball bat.
You know,
Fucking eliminate all them
step up,
fucking
man,
monkeys
step
up
up.
there.
Golly bum.
I mean, it's a freak show. Everybody's concentrated on Trump, right? How Trump is some freak show, whatever.
Hey, honey, what's up?
Dude, everybody else on that
Yeah,
stage is
hello?
a fucking freak show. Everybody's a fucking, like, 2 steps away from being like a fucking child predator. They're all fucking weirdos. You know what I'm saying? They're fucking Chris Christie. Are you fucking kidding me? Would you leave your kids with Chris Christie?
He might eat
I'm
them.
not saying Chris Christie would touch your kids, but he'd probably fucking eat them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Carly, are you fucking kidding me? Carly, I wouldn't leave Carly with my fucking dog.
Love you.
You know?
It's
Ben
ridiculous,
Carson,
man. It's
Kathy.
ridiculous.
Dude, Ben Carson is on
We
a
were talking.
mushroom spaceship. That
Ooh,
motherfucker.
that's a nice one. I like that.
It's like he did all this awesome shit in his life.
They're going to
and
be a little late. Look at those. Those are cool. I can
then
get
took
lost
the
in this
bad
motherfucker.
mushrooms.
Who
and
is Mule
fucking
talking?
this
All right, so
got stuck. I don't know what the fuck happened to Ben Carson. Who am I missing that matters? Lindsey Graham's a traitor. Who else am I missing?
Kasich, the governor of Ohio, who's a nobody.
God. Yeah. How about Huck? I don't hate Huck.
Yeah, he's a nobody.
I know.
He
but
has
I
no
don't
good
hate him.
ideas. He has no
I don't
principle.
hate him, though. He's like fucking Southern conservative as fuck, like stuck back in the 1890s or some shit. He's
Well,
like,
he supposedly gets the evangelical vote, but
yeah.
why would you vote for somebody who's going to enforce a religious dogma on people? I don't get the people's perception of things.
Hey, I don't know. I don't see him as that bad of a guy, honestly. He don't got
He's
no.
a good guy, but he'd make a horrible president.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand the limits. Doesn't understand the limits and restrictions.
Fucking Marco Rubio.
Yeah, I thought you forgot.
We didn't even get to him. We could spend an hour
Oh
on
man.
him and Paul Ryan, right? I know Paul Ryan's not running, but you know the fucking the beard, the fucking speaker now. Are you fucking kidding me? As soon as he became what he became, is how you know it's all over, right? I mean, right in your face. It's a smack in your face. Are you fucking kidding me? That fucking guy?
Right.
That's bad. You know? What do you do? I mean, it's looking grim is all I'm saying. I'm cool
Well,
with
like
it.
I said, we're past the point of no return. To cover this, we just got to move forward into the next evolution of whatever it becomes. I mean, people need to be ready.
Marco Rubio. Wow. You know what? I made up a nickname for him because I got nicknames for a bunch of these guys. But so like that's my tags everywhere. So like fucking Chris Christie is Chris Christie, aka Fat Man, or just Fat Man.
Jelly donut.
fucking Marco is Marco Baby Nuts Rubio. You know, fucking I don't know what to say about that guy. That's fucking hasn't been said about fucking half these idiots, but he played like he was some type of fucking real conservative and shit. and behind closed doors, this fool is just he's Jeb's replacement. So I mean, he's
Jeb's
it's
replacement.
crazy.
Yeah.
I can see him becoming president, though. Do you get it? Like, I can see him.
Oh yeah, everybody likes the image. Everybody likes picturesque, pretty boy, frat boy image. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, it's the Hispanic thing. That's what it's going to be. Because everything has to be a first. They got to get a first of this in this league of sports, this branch of sports, and women got to be the first women to do this. And everybody's got to be a fucking first to the point to where, everything's got to be a first. We got to be, it don't matter if we kill our country or anything like that. We got to be a nation of fucking total first to prove that we're not racist or sexist or.
It's funny, Tone. Stephen Moulier, whatever. I cannot pronounce that fucking dude's name.
Molyneux?
Yeah, Molyneux. There you go. Never get that shit right.
It's French. What do you expect?
I love the French, right? But
I can't.
But I didn't take I love the historical French. The individual French, man, smelly. But
not since Charles Martel.
But no, I've known a couple of cool ones. But I'm just saying is that it's. I lost my train of thought. Just ran out the window like. So fast it wasn't even funny. What the hell was I talking about?
I don't know.
Charles Martel, whatever his name was.
French guy.
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry guys, I had a train of thought. It just went off the tracks and crashed. I'm looking at the burning wreckage, hoping for a smell of what I was talking about, and I'm not getting it. Just burnt idea.
I don't even remember what I was talking about. Somebody sober, chime in, please.
Right. The reason why my camera's off is because I'm puffing tough.
I'm drinking Jameson. I got about a little bit of. I started this thing with over a half a bottle. So.
Well, from what I'm seeing, Trump's holding the numbers, at least according to the polls, if you can believe those. I mean, Trump's got the numbers here and there, So if he is president, I don't know. Hold your breath. There's no telling. I mean, it could go.
But he's the wild card, right? He's the dangerous one. I hate the guy, right? I know he'll go, he's a populist, which is the most dangerous kind of politician.
He's gonna be a benevolent tyrant, just like Obama, just on the opposite side of the coin.
And remember, I said that a couple of chats back. I don't even know how. Somewhere along the line, I've said that when Trump jumped in, he'll be which benevolent tyrant do you want? Well, and I don't think Bernie Sanders or Hillary would be benevolent, right? I think the best chance at a benevolent tyrant is, Trump. Why? Because he is that kind of New York huckster.
What do you guys?
I don't think he has any animosity towards the American people. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has an agenda, an axe to grind against America.
Like a Muslim agenda.
Right. He loves America. He knows that he is not possible without America, right? The wealth that came from his family wasn't possible. His ability to destroy and then remake that wealth, right, is only possible in America, right?
Well, check it out. Let's flip this to the other side of the coin with fucking Bernie Sanders' campaign being suspended by the DNC, right?
No. It was they're not allowing them to the database. His campaign's not suspended, and now Bernie's suing for the rights to get to that database.
It's just the DNC protecting Hillary. That's all they're doing.
Right. It's exactly what
the establishment's protecting itself. I mean, Bernie Sanders, as horrible as he is still not in the pocket as much as Hillary.
Yes.
Well, Bernie isn't he? They're going after the DNC for more than that. They're going after him for fucking babying her or whatever the fuck you call it.
Yeah, but you can't take that in court, right? They're going after them in the court of public opinion in that, but they can't go after them in court for anything other than the database. Now, this is an election year. They shouldn't be suing the DNC for that shit, right? But being like HD said, they back the establishment is backing the establishment candidate, without giving any play to the Sanders group, then it's going to get ugly, because Bernie Sanders is not in the policy or the way they believe or think, but he's in the same vein as Ron Paul, right? But for the Democrats, he's at the moment their golden boy speaking to the youth, right? And he's not saying the same message that Ron Paul had, where Ron Paul had a message to the youth of do it for yourselves. The bootstraps are real, right? We have to clean up the government so everybody has a fair shake at pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, right? Don't give them, he was teach them the fish, don't give them the fish kind of mentality, right? Where Bernie Sanders is the complete opposite. Him and the whole DNC these days are giving out entitlements like they're candy at Halloween. And the youth want to hear that. Look at them. They're in college. They're in the bastion of knowledge and free speech, trying to limit people's free speech. They need safety from words. I need a safe zone.
Yeah.
He called me a name.
Hopefully they don't come to the dragon. They won't find a safe zone.
Well, it's fucked up, because you think about it, and when you go up to them and you say, your grandfather died, your great-grandfather probably died on a fucking beach somewhere in the world fighting for the ability to speak mine.
Yeah.
You have ancestors somewhere that fought for the right to be able to speak freely. It's the fucking #1 foundation of goddamn Western civilization, is the right for people to speak their fucking mind. And you want to take away that fucking that marketplace of ideas, because what you said made me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous on his face, right? But that's what we're up against, right? And then we're up against the people that capitulate. You're the fucking president of a goddamn college, and you're gonna bow down to your fucking students when they're being stupid? You're giving in to their ridiculous ideas instead of fighting them like they started to. Some of them did, right? Those professors at Yale, they started fighting them at the, talking to them reasonably, fighting them in the debate, right? Being able to bring up facts. But you're talking to fucking liberals. The second they get butthurt, they all of a sudden lose their goddamn minds and start talking about my feelings hurt. That's because, you know what? They got participation trophies. They never lost. They never got to lose. Yeah. They never got to go hungry. They never had the joy of a welfare Christmas, to quote a good band from the 90s.
Well, in the comments, I was going to say, the only reason we'd be talking about any of these idiots in the first place is because a bunch of motherfuckers that are out there in the fucking chats, a lot of the times were saying, pretty much I would say like 90% of people in the chats were saying for the last while, oh, it's still time to go vote and make phone calls and protest. It's because of motherfuckers like that we're even entertaining this fucking freak show, and I would fuck around with the Trump shit and all that anyways. And I'm gonna keep playing with it. I'm gonna keep having fun because I know Rand don't have a chance. He don't got a chance. I think that he could save himself right now if he fucking grabbed his nuts and started talking like fucking, talking like he needs to talk. He needs to be. I'm not saying he needs to be fucking.
You mean his top advisor?
But he's got to say, look, these motherfuckers. Maybe he doesn't have to use the MF word exactly, but these motherfuckers are gonna sink the ship. This person, such and such. You know what I mean? Not leveling attacks as much as saying, hey, if you go down this path, this is where it's gonna lead you. I can promise you. Has he said that? Promise you? I don't know.
Essentially, I mean, he said Chris Christie's going to start World War III. Donald Trump's going to suspend the Constitution. I mean, he said that right out there on the stage. I mean, he only gets so much time.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of time. But anyways, that's the only reason we're entertaining this is because people said, it was still time to vote and all that shit. But I'm pretty sure everybody on this panel right here knows what time it is. It's a different. We got different watches, okay? And our time says something different. Because
Right,
Rand
but the
Paul
game,
don't got shot.
Tony, yeah, but with the games afoot, right? Right now, it's all political theater, and it's all the game of the mind, the wonk, or whatever, right? So we're gonna play out this system the way it is while we're loading our magazines, like we've been doing for years, right? Why have we stopped holding these 3 times a week? Because of the futility of yelling 3 times a week. We have other shit to do, you know. Now it's coming time to start having them again because the discussion's back on. But we can still discuss what's going on in the political sphere as we see it, knowing the fact that we're ready to go at a drop of a hat. That's what being a Minuteman is. It's not being real quick in the bedroom. It's being quick to be ready to go out and stand up for your freedom. And you've done it already, right? You're the one who's gone out and protested lately other than you? Right? It ain't been me, I'll be honest. I'm too busy doing my own shit. I spent so much time trying to wake people up that I let my own shit go to where I've spent basically the last year getting back in touch with my family and doing my shit that I needed to do to take care of my family and get stuff taken care of. It wasn't time to continue yelling at the world when there's nothing we can do about controlling what's going on in the world. Ain't nobody shooting at each other yet.
I got a cool question. I got a cool question for you guys all on here, okay? And I just want to know what you think and what and I don't know what should I do or whatever. Obviously, there's no hope in the Democrat Party, right? Zero. Obviously, I'm not. It's not a question mark. I'm just saying. I've been a registered Democrat since I was registered to vote, always. So would it be smart of me to go down and change a party affiliation or just stay a registered Democrat? I mean, we're talking in the realm of voting and all that shit. We already know that it's whatever, but I'm just saying. This is a cool question, I think. What do you think?
It doesn't matter unless you're going to participate in the caucus, whether you change or not. If you're not going to go down to the caucus and actually voice your opinion on somebody, it really doesn't matter.
So just stay a registered Democrat, huh?
Sure. It may keep you off the list a little longer.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
You might not be on the bus list when they come around.
Yeah.
Or you might be anyway.
Is there any way that I'm a Democrat?
You mean for real?
Yeah, for real. Like still, like I can see before, but like my parents were conservative.
My question is there any way I'm a Republican?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I could change it and become Republican. All I'm saying is I wonder, like, it's just funny. It's almost like leave it on purpose because I always get called a white Republican anyways.
Yeah, I'll bet. That just cracks me up. I mean, ever since I've known you, automatically it's like you're a Hispanic guy. I don't know how anybody could look at you and not know you're Hispanic. That's what cracks me up. I guess it's just one of those things. You're in the military, you see many people, a wide variety. It's easily recognizable. I don't know.
Well, it was especially easy in the military because you only wear your last name everywhere, so it was extra easy. Like,
Right.
Fucking Chewy, Chow, Chow, Hernandez, Fernandez, Smith. Yeah. It is what it is, though. I figure, what do you do? Do you still go to vote? I don't know.
I'm gonna try to go till it gets so bad you start taking fire, trying to get over, and I guess I won't go anymore.
It's basically almost like every man for himself at this point. Because I just noticed that the groups, I think there's the hardcore you know, like say like the real 3%ers, I think that group is tight. I think everybody's on the same page. But when it comes to all these other subgroups, they're not on the same page as 3%ers. They don't get the Constitution. They don't get the checks and balances that keeps everything in line. They don't understand the duty that.
Because they don't care.
And then
Yeah, well,
You know, they want free stuff. They just want the government to give people things or them things or
but I'm
have
saying
a
these other
specific
groups,
agenda.
These other groups, these groups that are so-called on our side, these other so-called, you know, patriots or whatever they call themselves, whatever their titles are. But yet they think that carrying a long gun into protest is going above and beyond, and that you're somehow not lawful, and you know. You're somehow
Well, I mean, they're trying to project an image to that group. I mean, I can see where they didn't want to be more intimidating than they already were, I guess. But I mean, like I said, we're not going back, so it's not like you're going to convince those people to bring back their scale. So I don't think they're necessarily in the right, but I just think they don't understand what time it is.
And when did it become mandatory to have to do shit to impress them motherfuckers? Fuck them. They chose their side. I ain't trying to convert nobody.
Right, but they're thinking that they can get those people on the other, that are opposite protesting, to like see their way, see that oh, these guys aren't so bad, guns aren't so bad. They're not the people. It's like I talked about. I don't know. I've said this many times. When I argue with somebody, like here on Twitter at a protest, I'm not arguing. I'm not trying to convince them because I know they're set in their ways 999 million times out of a billion or whatever. It's the person listening. That's who you're trying to get across to, in my opinion.
Right, the person that's listening to you discuss it with the other one.
Right.
You're engaged in that battle of ideas. So they're going to stand their ground, you're going to stand your ground.
It's like, I'm not talking to you, Tony. I'm talking to people in the chat room that are listening.
Right.
Well, no, I'm just thinking, like,
Both.
how about these fuckers that are paid? Like, okay, even if they're not paid cash, like, say this anti-gun group, they're invited to, like, have, like, food and, like, whatever the fuck outside, served outside. It was cold and it was windy, and they did this shit outside, so I'm trying
Hold
to...
on, Tony. It was 14 here this week. What was it exactly?
Like 40 or something.
All right, just check.
I should have put the temperature up, huh? Felt like 38. But no, what I'm saying is, these people, and I stated this the last chat that I had, these people were out of their element to not be paid. You know what I mean? There's no way that they cared that much about fucking getting rid of guns, that they would all wear matching colors, matching, damn near like somebody had a stack of sweaters and gave everybody a fucking orange sweater on their way into the thing. Oh, keep warm. We're all wearing the same orange sweaters. You know, out in the fucking cold. It was at a building, and they didn't even host it inside. It was on the side, out back. Then when they get done, they fucking protest by walking down a street like two blocks off of Las Vegas Boulevard, where they would have been highly visible. They marched on this fucking dark ass street. You know what I mean? In the fucking dark, nobody saw them, and they fucking turned around. I'm talking the march was like 10 minutes long. So they did nothing. They didn't do anything.
Dude,
it was all media.
No, exactly. It was to feed the media. It wasn't for anything other than that. It was to feed the media, dude.
And I fed the
they have
media
20
too.
people at a protest, but when you look at the picture on the front of Las Vegas Journal, it looks like there's 200.
And I fed the media too, and that's why I go the way I go. And that's why I had the 3% flag flying. I don't see that flag nowhere flying unless a motherfucker. And when I talk to somebody in real life, not all these fuckers on the internet that claim to be 3%ers, but when I meet real 3%ers in real life, these motherfuckers are some fucking. You know that they're not fucking around. It's not something that you just. You know what I mean? It's not the little fucking Gadsden Flag Club, you know. They fucking hijacked that one, you know. You know the motherfuckers know what's up. So for that flag to be flying at any of these events is like You should know what time it is. We're not what you guys are across the street, and that's why
Well,
we
the
were
funny
across the
thing
street.
is, Tony, like I was trying to get into you to let you understand that the true 3%, you are part of the 1% of the 3% that's actually speaking their mind, publicly, right? Most of that 3% are not speaking their mind publicly because they know that's a dangerous thing to do. They're just ready for when shit hits the fan, right? They're quietly in the background watching and subtly letting others, knowing who they're talking to before they even speak that kind of shit.
And that's why those motherfuckers, they don't have no business coming up and talking to me. They don't have no business coming up to me asking me, hey, can you go put your rifle away? We're giving off
But
the
they're
wrong
not the
image.
3%. Those are the
That's
fucking.
what I told him. This motherfucker tried to tell me. This motherfucker asked me that, and he said I'm a 3%er or I support the 3%. I don't remember what the fuck he said.
Well, somebody came up to me. A cop came up and told me that, and I was like, okay, so if you're part of the 3%, when they tell you that you're going to have to get people's guns, right? Or if you're really part of the 3%, you don't give out parking tickets, do you? Well, what do you mean? When I talk to cops, that's the way I talk when they say they're part of the 3%. Is so you don't give out parking tickets. Well, what do you mean? Well, what do you think you think our founding fathers wouldn't have bitched about parking tickets when they fucking went to war over a 2% tax?
Yeah.
The crazy part
think all
is
this revenue generating would have been cool? Come on now.
the crazy part is, Mule, they asked me to go to that shit, and I told them who I was and what I fucking represented, how I get down, and they were like, they wanted me there, but they didn't want me to come how I was going to come. And so when I told them the way, I was like, yo, this is the way I come. If you guys want me to go, I'll bring more people that are going to be just like me, or we're going to be carrying rifles. I told them exactly that way, and I said, respectfully, and I said, it's your rally. I said, if that's not cool, because they had posted something. I said, if that's not cool, you know what I mean?
Nevada is an open carry state, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but it was their rally, so I said respectfully, if that's too much for you guys, I decline. I won't be there. So they went and they were offended that I even said it that way. And so I was like, again, I reassured them. I was like, dude, we're on the same team. I go a certain way.
Not.
I know, but and they made me be at that rally because they pissed me off because that rally to me was irrelevant. It doesn't even fucking matter. It's the fact that they asked me, hey, can you come out and bring some people out? And I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing nothing on Sunday, but then to tell me, hey, and then when I got there, all right, so, I just did my own shit is my point. That's how I did it. That's how I do it, and it was just funny. Just funny. That's all. How people are.
No, I know what you mean. It is ridiculous. So you want to protest, but you don't want to yell.
Like I said, they still don't know what time it is.
Yeah. So you're okay with the free speech zone, right? Is that what you're telling me?
I would say one thing that I notice about a lot of these types like that, like when you look at them physically overall, some of us guys, we're not where we want to be, you know what I mean? But when you're talking about you're just physically handicapped by your situation, I mean, it's cool you got the handgun on, you're out there carrying for gun rights and stuff, but when you're
they're carrying for a different right than what we're talking about, right? When we talk about the self-defense, we talk about the self-defense of the people as a whole, right? It's not just personal self-defense, it's the self-defense of our nation against tyranny, right? It sounds like these protesters were those self-defense that don't care two shits about tyranny. They just want self-defense against the guy on the street who's going to take their wallet.
Right.
And
that's the real difference between the NRA and 3%.
The original protest is a Moms Demand Action protest, and they got on the ballot universal background check for 2016, I believe.
Yeah, that's gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, from
Hopefully.
just my own personal point of view, I can have a mediocre, you know, fairy dancing on a pinhead worth of respect for the moms because they're at least against everything I stand for, and they're shouting about it, right?
Bitches ain't even real, Mule. Those bitches
I
are
don't care. I don't care. What I'm saying is anybody who stands, paid or not, that they're at least doing it for something, right? The people like the ones that were telling you to come to the protest but don't, those are the fucksticks that I hate the most because they claim to be on your side and they're not. Right? They're the FUDs. They're the ones who say it's cool for you to have an assault weapons ban as long as you're not taking my shotgun or my bolt action. Right? And it's cool. I'm a cowboy shooter. I don't care what you do with semi-autos.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and those are the fucking people are the ones that I hate. I have when I find out, you know, it's that bad, horrible taste in your mouth that I get when I meet one of them.
Kind of like that metal taste that comes up in your.
No, I
Yeah.
like that. That reminds me of other people's blood. I'm talking about, you know, just that, like, you know, like when you're in the bathroom and somebody took a horrible shit, you know, or rotting flesh, you know, that kind of smell. You know, it gives me that taste, and that rotting flesh taste in my mouth when I talk to those, because I know their souls are rotten. Because all they are little mice. They need the gun to defend themselves. You know what I mean? They need a weapon. They don't need a tool.
Yeah.
You know, and it does. That's not a physical thing. That's not saying that they're you know fucking a giant or a kung fu fighter or a fucking combat veteran or blah blah blah. But whatever you take it's the heart of the man that
Hey,
makes man.
there ain't nothing wrong with going out and showing face on that 3% shit. Because you know what? They got some good pictures of my boy. He's got his he's got his AR and he's holding the 3% flag, and that shit's blowing in the wind because it's fucking cold and windy. You know what I mean? And these fucking moms in action, paid bitches. They're so out of their element. And we just happen to be patriots who ain't got our fucking heads up our ass watching football on Sundays. We're right in our shit. You know what I mean? We're fine. So that 3% flag is blowing proudly, and all them propaganda fucking stories they're running in the RJ and all that shit. That 3% flag is blowing beautifully. Same one that was at Bundy Ranch. Same the one that was at Carson City. Fucking what? 2 years ago, whatever it was now. Same shit, man.
And you know what? You've been holding it strong, but you keep forgetting when you talk about. Again, you keep forgetting 3% isn't a lot of people. You're not going to get a lot of open support.
I'm not looking for support, Mule, as much as I'm just constantly standing in defiance, and I'm already on a list. And what does it matter for me to be?
Yeah, that's where kind of. I mean, talk about somebody on the no-fly list, right? So, I mean, you got all the markers, buddy. You know.
Hey,
thankfully, you drive back and forth to California. You know.
I gotta live, man. I can't. I mean, I get too mad. It's the only way. It's the only way I can blow it off, you know.
Oh, and that's what this is great for, right? It always has been good for us all to blow off that steam when it starts getting too heavy. And with the political season gearing up, it's good that this platform's still around because I know I'm gonna need places to blow that shit off at times. You know, because it is gonna get. We know what this dance is about, right? It's gonna be all about bullshit and talking heads, and we're gonna lose our fucking minds because they're gonna be lying to us. They've already lied to us. They haven't stopped lying to us. They're gonna continue lying to us, and they're politicians. So every time they open their fucking mouths, it's a lie. Right? Or even if there's a nugget of truth in it, you got to swirl it around to find what the truth is, and it's usually just one small part of that whole giant lie they just fucking told.
This is in the RJ, I believe. The fucking leftist journal here. Look at that shit, dude. That's not me. That's my boy. I'm up in the front with the hoodie on, I think.
See, you should have been shining that 702 tattoo again and go. You can show the one from Bundy too if you like.
Dude, I looked incognito, bro. They were all mad because I had my rifle pointed up in the air. They were all types of pissed off at me. I didn't give a fuck. Dude.
So okay. Now off topic for 1 second, being you just mentioned you had your rifle pointed up in the air. So you're telling me it was pointed in a safe direction, right? Up.
Yeah.
Which is just as safe as down.
Yeah.
Because if you actually just God forbid there was a round in a chamber and it went off, down it would ricochet into a crowd. Up, it would scare the fuck out of people and go straight up.
Dude,
Generally.
I mean, I don't know, like when I carry my rifle, I always carried my rifle with the barrel up unless I was on a 1-point sling, obviously, and it was like hanging down, it'd be hanging down. And I don't like that. That's why I got rid of the 1-point sling. I like, because the way I transition, like from fucking being all, peaceful and being proper, that's just how I roll. And like, I've been shooting this rifle since I was like, I don't know, like 17 or 18, 17. I don't know.
So your mom still ain't figured out gut's a cult.
Let's do that on air. All I'm saying is, dude, I just been shooting this rifle forever, and I didn't like, I imagine like a cowboy walking into town or riding into town. He's on his horse and shit, and then some dude like comes up and says, "You're not being safe with your fucking rifle. That shit is pointed any direction that I feel uncomfortable." Like, dude, I don't understand. I don't understand it. I mean, and maybe some people tell me I'm wrong, but it's the way on the 2-point sling. That's the way I like to carry it, because then I grab it barrel first, flip it over, and then I'm good. I mean, I don't know. I keep my sling kind of tight on my body, so I was kind of lagging it a little bit at the rally, but I didn't really give a fuck. That's like the least of my worries. Like,
yeah, because
did you see the guy hiding behind the tree?
there was a guy hiding from the cameras or something?
No, it was before the cameras, but that fool was like, I don't know, it was weird. It was like false flag weird. I don't know. See, I don't know. I just like to carry that shit. I don't know. It's not even anywhere near my head, so I don't understand what people say.
See, that's why I like my folding stock egg case.
No, dude, I prefer this. I like it. I'm fine with it. And grab the strap, rock and roll.
No, if we were able to open carry something like that here at a protest, I would have it more in a shoulder sling where it would be under my armpit like it does when it sits under my coat.
Dude, I rock it stylish like Louis Vuitton, but mine's Blackhawk.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
I think I paid like $16 for this sling, and I've had hella other slings and all types of shit that cost way more, and I hated them all, and I just went back to this one. I'm all back in love with it again. Sometimes I go to sleep with it like this.
when water ain't around, right?
Oh, and we have threesomes, all us two.
Oh, fuck. So, what's up on the Christmas agenda for you guys? One of the reasons why I was happy to come in was to say Merry Christmas to everybody, and hope all you guys have a nice Christmas.
We should open up the dragon. That's what we should do.
Absolutely.
Man, I'm telling you, I got to figure out a way to get El Tenda out here to arrange.
Actually, I could open it, because I'm going to probably be up north.
I think
up north.
If it's a weekend, I told you I can. If I know in advance, I can come up with my friends, so at least we can share the ride.
Right. Yeah, I know, and just everybody's been busy, and the people who the place is free, right,
Yeah.
are all busy, and everybody's doing shit, or they have little children over, so they don't want, whatever. Anyway, but the pay guy's open still, and they just opened that free shooting pit too. So
HD, let's meet out in Elko, bro.
Nah, I can't be doing that.
Like the day after Christmas.
but if it don't snow after the New Year, Breeze, I'm gonna call you up and we'll grab a weekend.
Okay. No problem. Like I said, I'll as long as I know like a week before, at least I can come up with a guy. Otherwise, by myself is a long way.
Yeah, but you got your driver's license now. You're doing good.
Yeah, I need my
You
driving.
get warm weather out there.
It's been
Warm
crazy,
what?
dude.
Freezing
like-
my ass outside tonight. Took out the dog.
So what?
I'm
Only
about
the
to.
get warm weather.
Yeah, we've had really nice weather. It's a little chilly now, but it ain't crazy.
Last week was like, the last weekend was warm. I mean, like Saturday was really warm.
Man,
Now and
global
we got a few.
warming.
Well, it's 25 degrees here right now, and I don't want to have to go out there in it. But if I do, I want to have something on where I can survive and not be miserable.
Not a fan of winter, but I gotta make your choice. At least, it's. I mean, it's not bad so far. But last time we were with remember last time was like before SHOT Show or after SHOT Show. I don't remember.
It's
The
gonna
time
be
was
cold. Hey, it's gonna
No,
be
it was
cold.
before Christmas when you came out shooting, and it was cold as fuck. Remember?
yeah, it was miserable.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cold as fuck when you come out here, Fabrizio. You
Yeah.
coming out?
Yeah, coming out like that's the usual.
You're gonna be. It's gonna be cold as fuck, man. It's already been cold as shit, man. And we've been getting like all the mountains, like mountains that don't even get snow, got snow. Like
Holy shit!
lots
No.
of snow in the mountains.
Well, for us, it's okay. I guess it's gonna be like be home. I guess.
But for I mean, we usually don't. We usually, yeah, it's usually not this cold this early. And we usually don't get no snow this early. Maybe like once, but not as much as we've been getting it here.
Because I
See,
remember,
that's the opposite for us.
I remember last year. Actually, the last day was actually warm in Las Vegas, and the year before too. But let me think about the first time I was over there. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago. That was horrible. It was one of the coldest. I mean, I was like, fuck. Oh my god, I don't know. I mean, it was really bad. You would think Las Vegas warmer. I mean, no, but and then I mean, normally this time I'm gonna be at the Link, which is really close to the Venetian. So it's not a big deal. I mean, it's won't be with my company, of course. Not my company, with the company I work for. Sorry. So we'll be with the Italians. So it's gonna be different. At least I'm more free to see stuff and do stuff. But I like to know Tony. I got your phone number and everything. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to SHOT. I'm gonna fucking. I might go to some of the parties or something if you guys invite me to some parties, but maybe I'll go
I'll
camp.
let you know. Let you know. Yeah, last year the YouTube stuff was sausage. Was like a sausage party.
Yeah, that's why I don't have. Yeah, I don't have nothing, dude. I don't have nothing to do with any of this shit no more. It doesn't. The only thing that I still believe in on here when it's all done correctly is the dragon, even more than my own channel because like I'm so cynical now that like you can't even tell the difference between when I'm being serious and my sarcasm. It's just like it's like one and the same. It's just like. It is what it is. And the dragon, like when the panel's put together right, it's fucking proper. It comes off
Well, things are happening. Wheels are turning. People are buying stuff. I mean, we counted over, I think we stopped counting at 7,000 pieces of body armor that's been bought off eBay. That is a lot of people buying a lot of stuff. And they ain't buying it for airsoft. I've said it before. It ain't for airsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that needs to be done rapid. I mean, the word. That's like that's soon.
Yeah,
It is what it is, though, guys. I wish everybody in here good luck. You know, I wish everybody in here good luck and Godspeed. Just you gotta do what you gotta do. Most of us are on the same team, but I think everybody's gotta like realize the numbers are way, way smaller than I think that we thought. I know I'm in a liberal place, but motherfuckers, the shit that people say, and even the people that you think that are on your side, they're just they're not educated at all. They basically just repeat what has been said on the rights defense on TV or the media. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know. I think there's people. The problem is some people don't go, don't out. I don't say English. They do outing, you know what I mean? They do video, stuff like that. They don't do that much and stuff. But I think there's more people than what we think. Problem is if it's gonna be a matter of whatever happened, it's gonna be a matter of organize a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be people that back up the people that's gonna start the thing. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it's more related on where you live. You know what I mean? Maybe where you live, they got more liberals than I don't know. No idea. Personally, over here, I don't think there's a lot of.
It's like Chicago over here, but with guns.
Yeah, yeah. Over here, this is weird. Over here, only if you Illinois, if you take off Chicago and a couple of stupid city in Cookie or stupid city, the rest of it is not too bad. I mean, Illinois is spread. It's like doesn't look like Illinois actually. Where you know what I mean? Like where I live right now, it's like 15 minutes where I used to be, but you got totally different thing going on. You know what I mean? Now you gotta pay a tax on the ammo in Cook County, which is stupid, and then you got a violent tax, which is stupid again. And people keep buying and paying for it. They don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Don't just move out there though. Did you move out of the county or you stayed in the county?
The what?
Did you stay in the county or did you move out?
I move out, thank God. Fuck Cook County. Now I can order whatever I want. I can have whatever I want. I don't need to pay a tax on the ammo. I don't need to pay $25 whatever I buy a rifle.
That's good. I was gonna
Yeah. Taxes I think are probably similar. But over here it's quiet, you know what I mean? It's a Mexican neighborhood. Where I live is pretty much 90% of Mexicans, but my block is actually a bunch of white people, which is weird. But they've been here forever. They've been here since the 60s or 70s, so they're kind of hippies-ish, which I don't give a shit. They're no, live and let live. You know what I mean? So the thing is that the police department is pretty much like 5 minutes from here, so it's very quiet. There's not a lot of shit going on. You know what I mean? So they're way too close to the police department, and so they don't want to get in trouble. But normally there are some gangs like around. Hispanic gangs, you know what I mean? So, but as long as you stay away from, that part of the town, you're fine. But you gotta think about also right now over here with the fact that they know there's a bunch of people, there's being a boom of concealed carry permit. So there's like a lot of them, like a lot of them. So I'm assuming that also the criminal, I'm assuming there's sometimes I think, except for Chicago where they don't give a shit probably, but in the rest of the state, probably they're a little bit more careful, and the people probably feel a little bit more safe, I guess. But I do, because I know where I can carry. There are places where you can't, so you try to be nice and don't want to be an asshole, get in trouble or something. But a place where I can go inside with no problem, I can go inside no problem. Sure enough, I have an open carry, but you know what I mean. But, But it's just a matter of I think it's a matter of educate the people. You know what I mean? Like in Illinois, it's kind of fresh. Certainly, part of Illinois is still fresh about gun rights. They don't know. They still don't know what they can do, what they can do, what they can own, and what they can't own, which is stupid. But if you don't tell them, they keep living in a completely they don't know about their rights. You know, and like Cook County, for example, every city got different rules, and everyone thinks they belong to Cook, which is actually not correct. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess we can't complain too much. It's, I mean,
I figured out what I'm gonna do.
what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna buy one of them fucking Airstreams. I'm gonna buy me a piece of land out in the boonies in Nevada, and I'm gonna have a solar panel on top of that bitch.
I wish I could do the same.
Hey, I'm gonna be like in the middle of fucking nowhere, and it's gonna be fucking far, and I'm gonna be like Star Wars. I'm gonna live out there in one of those little half dome huts. I'm gonna fucking live out in that motherfucker, and I'm gonna have my Airstream, solar power, and and I'm just gonna live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't give a fuck. You guys wake me up, ring me.
All I can say is welcome to my world.
Yeah.
Brother, I went 4 days last week. I didn't see a soul. I live behind a locked gate in the middle of nowhere.
Cool.
That's how I want to live. Except for I'll have the kids and I'll have my Indian with me. You know.
Listen to just two, but as you see,
I'll have my Indian with me. Uh-huh. Yeah, so yeah, that's my dream, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'll build I just want to be I just want to be out in the middle of nowhere. That's all. It's a joke, like they're teaching Common Core to all the kids in Nevada now.
Really?
Like, I'm so frustrated with that shit. It's enough to make me want to go. They told my son told me that his teacher told him his parents can go to jail for homeschooling their kids.
Jesus.
Yeah. What do I do about that? I don't even know what to do about that. Like, without not getting in trouble. Like, I'm on probation till June.
I gotta be careful nowadays. They teach the kid to snitch. Sorry, about the parents for the guns and everything. You know what I mean? Which is horrible.
So fucking crazy, man. I don't even know. It's literally creeped up in my life and made it's so intrusive on my life that I can't continue to live like this, or for the fucking for it to get any worse. I can't do it. So that's why my little thing is to give me a piece of land. I'll homeschool my kids. I'll be out in the boonies, out in the middle of nowhere. I'll figure out a way to fucking make a little cash. I'll go into town each week, get some supplies. I'll be good. I lived out here my whole fucking life for some years. I'll be fine. Trust me.
I bet you do. Well, nowadays we are kind of, slave to our habit. You know what I mean? You gotta have
Not like I'm moving to Alaska.
Yeah, it's a little bit too cold for my taste in the winter.
well, we're all slaves to our lifestyles, right? We all like whatever your favorite ice cream is, costs money. You want to get your favorite ice cream, you got to go to work. So you're all we're all a slave to the overall system, and we don't know how to break it yet because we're so entrenched in it. That's part of the reason why nobody wants to change anything and keeps putting these fucking patchwork not fixes, we have to do something shit together, is because the system's broke, but nobody knows how to fix it, and it goes all the way through.
Yep. Yep.
From Common Core to fucking the judicial system, which we can go. I mean, you guys in Nevada, holy shit! Did you see that expose about they're just like your prison there is high desert, whatever, correctional
Yeah.
is fucking nuts, man.
Dude, all the pens out here are fucking.
Are hardcore, dude. Nobody wants to go. You know, if you want to keep criminals out of your you want to eliminate crime in Nevada. Just turn on the fucking closed cache, the cameras and shit, the CCTVs in there, and put it on a TV show, and just let it roll.
I'm telling you right now, I always like that movie, fucking Chronicles of Riddick. That's what the prisons out here remind me of.
I believe it. The guards shoot first. Don't even bother to ask questions. Fuck.
Dude, you were in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Man, it really is. It's crazy. I just started reading this expose on that shit, and it's like, wow, Attica.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like I think it's what the one that you're probably talking about. It's either probably talking about the one in Ely or Elko. No, which one? Or is it? There's so many fucking prisons out in the desert. That's either the one outside of town. That's Indian Springs. That's Indian Springs.
There's a big expose on the left. I think I read it in HuffPost. It's posted a couple other places.
That's like if it's one of those like Elko and Ely, they fucking I believe both of them got prisons, and then there's mining.
Well, this was it was finally somebody there doing some journalism. You know what I mean?
I think you're talking about the one up here at Lovelock.
I don't remember, but it was fucking. Yeah, it was a state prison. It was state.
Yeah,
it wasn't federal.
It's the one in Lovelock.
So it was and it was nuts, dude. It was no fucking joke, and the guards were as bad as the prisoners, And the funny thing is they're trying to,
High desert.
It's from the left's perspective, right? So even though they're banging on the fucking prison guards, they can't get away with the brutality the prisoners are doing to each other.
No, High desert is the one down here, the one in Indian Springs.
Yeah, they're like fun camps for adults, like Hillary said.
Dude, this is a fucking squared away ass prison. My parents used to work there.
Well, the one that they're talking about is a brutal ass prison, so not a place you'd want to go, get sent to.
Hey, the funny thing is they, people live in Vegas and they commute out there to work at this prison, and it's fucking out there. It looks like Mars out there.
Right, guys, I gotta go to bed. Unfortunately, I got a long day tomorrow.
Hey, Breeze, hit me up on tomorrow's Saturday. So hit me up on Sunday. I just gotta talk to you about something if you're going to shot.
Okay, I will. I will. Like on Facebook?
Yeah, hit me up and we'll do a little Facebook chat or whatever.
Okay, cool. Okay. See you guys.
See you, Breeze.
Stay safe. Watch your six. Have a good night.
I don't need any more shirts. It's a terrible thing. And it's terrible because, a good friend of mine's making shirts and I don't need any of them. So, which, by the way, Green Dragon's only sponsor, Rebel Solutions Designs. Go check out rebelsolutionsdesigns.com. All one word. Spell solutions with a U. SOUL. Right? Go check out the shirts there. He's he's one of the founders of the Dragon, right? Even though he's always ready to nail the doors closed. And he's the only sponsor it's ever had. So go check it out. You still might be able to get in under the Christmas wire if you're willing to pay for shipping. But other than that, go check his designs out. You'll at least like checking his designs out, dude. He says what we do, and he says it on a T-shirt.
Yeah. We're at 3 hours right now. 3 hours, 18 minutes. I'm gonna fucking close it down for the after chat. I know a lot of people will probably bounce, but I'm gonna stay in. I got drink to drink.
Drank.
So, anybody got any shout outs? I already shouted out everybody.
Well, wait 1 second before you shout everybody out and close this down. The person who usually bails, please stick around for a minute.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah.
I guess he's talking to me. I'm already like,
Talked to your ass in a long time either.
man, I just talked to you yesterday. What are you talking about?
Man, bro, you didn't even call me anymore, man.
You text me like every day.
Yeah, you don't never answer me, man. It's all good, bro. Alright, Bikes and Bullets, J-Watt, LBCK, Mackinstood, Mr. Tommy Boy, Saints, Kevin J. Soul, Joel's Quantum Heart Logic, Quasar's out there, Redbud, Partisan Gorilla, Tracy, Bikes and Bullets, Johnny Master at Arms Done. That's what's up. I ain't seen Johnny in a while, so that's cool that he dropped by. I didn't even see him out there until just right now. That's it, I guess. So we're out. Who knows when the next Dragon, the legit ones, will be? Well, who knows?
But if you dropped in tonight, you found one.
Yeah, it was cool. We had some old school folks on it.
Good
So,
chat, gents.
yeah, after chat will be open. I'll just post a link. I'm pretty sure nobody will jump in, but it'll be there. So, got anything, High Desert? Got anything, Saints?
Shout out to the Dragon. Everybody on the pilot. Seemed like it's a good one.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
Absolutely.
And this is for you guys on the Dragon.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.